Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing will be there when you need.
Chris? Yeah. He said he'd have a slot.
It's the start of a new season, and high school football is back. The 2023 campaign was one for the ages as the Central Rebels made an historic run all the way to their first state championship in school history. More on the defending state champs next week, but tonight's matchup will kick off our coverage featuring the two biggest schools in our area, the Farmington Knights and the North County Raiders. Last year, Farmington broke a 3-year losing streak to the Blue and Gold by scoring a 28-14 victory on Richardson Field. The Knights would go on to win 6 games and mount a playoff run, knocking off Webster Groves and Poplar Bluff before falling to Cape Central in the district championship game. For the Raiders, 4 wins would be last year's total, including a shutout playoff win over Potosi in the first round of the playoffs before falling to state finalist Hillsboro. With new faces and new places, both teams are expecting big things in 2024, making it the best game to begin our broadcast journey. Welcome to Parkland Sports Live, an online streaming company committed to providing the very best in sports coverage. To say our crew is senior-laden is an understatement. With over 100 years of combined award-winning broadcast experience, Parkland Sports Live is the new place to see and hear the biggest football game on Friday night, and coming soon, the Parkland Sports Live High School Basketball Game of the Week. With local broadcast legends Chad Speaker, Mike Reeves, and Greg Allen, plus longtime local head coach Jake Whitener, we will bring you the same coverage you loved from us for years. Throw in insight and coverage from Knuckleball Primetime's Chad Winch and the most talented camera and IT people in the area. We are ready for some football. So sit back and enjoy the best broadcast team ever assembled. Week 1 of the high school football season starts now on Parkland Sports Live.
Ready to roll up your sleeves and dive into a hands-on career? Mineral Area College is ready for you. Their Mac Tech industry and technology programs are all about getting to work and making things happen. Whether you thrive on fixing, building, or just plain problem solving, they've got a pathway for you. Welding, HVAC, auto tech, construction, and more. You'll gain the practical skills and real-world experience needed to thrive in today's job market. Take the first step to a fulfilling career in a Mac Tech program. Apply today at mineralarea.edu.
Amped Lifestyle Personal Training and Functional Fitness by Michelle Smith takes your fitness to the next level. With 4 personal trainers and locations in Farmington and Park Hills, Amped Lifestyle Personal Training makes fitting in that workout convenient. Ask about bungee fitness, group sessions, athletic training, 55 plus, cardio hip, and yoga sessions with Mary, all taught by certified instructors. Amped Lifestyle Personal Training and Functional Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, 760-9931.
Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling has the equipment and know-how to get that job done right. They dig basements, ponds, lakes, roads, and clearings and haul in the rock. Check out Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling's commercial work at Domino's in Farmington and Fredericktown and Leadbelt Motorsports. Call Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling today at 701-3258. That's 701-3258.
When it won't start, call Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing, 431-2117. K. Buckley Towing can handle lockouts, jump starts, and their heavy-duty wreckers can pull nearly any size RV tractor trailer. With 24-hour roadside assistance, Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing will be there when you need it most. Save this number into your phone right now, 573-431-2117.
Live from the Barn Studio, you got the Mocs here, and I'm joined online right now with Coach Brian Jones of the North County Raiders. Coach Jones, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
It's an exciting time if you're a high school football fan right now. Week 1 is getting ready to kick off. You're kicking off, obviously, against the Farmington Knights, your rival. Tell us a little bit about the game.
Always well attended by the communities, that's for sure. You know, it always brings out a big crowd, and it's one of the games each year that the kids get to play in front of a packed stadium, and so we always look forward to that. You know, it is our only rivalry, our true rivalry, I guess you could say, because that's the only team that we've played all the seasons that we've had varsity football. I believe this will be the 55th season of varsity football at North County, and Farmington is the only team that we've played for 55 games. So it's definitely our rivalry game. Community looks forward to it. It'll be a fun night.
And I'd say maybe even a little extra special in that you get to host it, right? I mean, it goes back and forth between the years, but this year it's your place, so it's going to be Week 1 kickoff against your rival at home. That's a special time if you're a high school football fan.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have a long off season, which is good. Kids get a chance to recover and spend a lot of time in the weight room, developing and getting bigger and more mature for the next year. And hopefully guys grow up and during the off season, and a lot of excitement leading into the season. And we know after we kick off Friday night, the next 10 or 11 weeks or so is generally a grind.
We're on game week now. So what's the temperature check? What's the feeling in the locker room? How the boys, how are they feeling right now?
We've had a great summer. We're down some guys, and you never want to see you never want to see your numbers drop in the program. I think we're only dressing 58, 9 through 12. So that's a little down from a couple of years ago when we were almost 75. But our participation from the guys that's there has probably been, between 95 and 97, 98%. So the guys that we do have around, that they're 100% bought in, and we've had a good summer. We got a lot of work done. We are very experienced in some spots, and we're also very young in some spots. And we feel like that the stuff that our young guys this summer have really grown up, and they're going to be ready to go Friday night.
With that being said, with you, you've mentioned that you are young in some spots. How important is leadership in that regard? How important it is for the older guys that do have varsity experience to step up and, help the younger guys out a little bit?
It's huge, just to have that locker room camaraderie and continuity, and good leadership in your locker room. And I just, this will be my 8th year, and I can tell you just from my experiences, the years that we've had really good leadership in our locker room are the years that we've had the better records during my tenure. And the years that we've struggled with leadership in the locker room is the years that we've not, things have not gone so well. And I don't want to put that on, entirely on the leadership or entirely on the kids, but it's definitely, as I look back, or as we look back and kind of evaluate each season, that's one of the things that really stands out. This group, I think we have some leaders. I think last year was maybe an eye-opening season for some of them. It had been a while since we had a season like that, and some complacency set in, and they didn't remember or realize what it takes to have a good season and the work that you have to put in.
Care to talk about some of the leaders that are leading this team and some people that you expect to step up and play those valuable roles with leadership?
I'd have to say, if we have a strength right now, it's probably our offensive line and our defensive lines, and mainly because that's where we have the most depth and most experience. Last year we started 4 new guys on the offensive line week 1 at Farmington. This year we're starting 4 seasoned guys on the offensive line week 1. So that's definitely a help. And those guys have, most of them have played together for 11 games. The new guy being McKinley, he'll be making his first start Friday night, but the other 4 have played together. And then we've increased our depth on the offensive line. We have some guys that have showed up this summer and kind of shown that they can play. As far as leaders, I think, we voted for captains this year, the first day of practice, like we always do. And our captain balloting, there was 3 guys that got over 20 votes each. And then the next closest guy got 6. And our 3 guys that are our captains are Xavier Scherfus and Ashton Goad and Kelton McFerrin. Those guys are all, going to be multi-year starters. Xavier's a 3-year starter. Coming back for his senior year, will be his 3rd year starting on our defensive line. Ashton and Kelton both are 2-year starters. So, we'll kind of lean on those guys. And then, like I said, we got 8 starters coming back on offense and 7 starters coming back on defense. So when you bring that back, that kind of, that kind of experience, it really eliminates the week 1 jitters to an extent. And these guys have been through the storm, so to speak. And, they are Friday night tested, so they can kind of help settle the nerves of the new guys that'll be making their first starts.
What do you know about the Farmington Knights as it stands right now, and what are you expecting Friday?
Well, we expect a whole bunch of Brett and Kaysen is what we expect. Kaysen's a great player. Back in 2021, we went down to their place, and I cannot remember who their starting fullback was at the time, but it seemed like he got injured very early on, and Kaysen came in, and I believe Kaysen ran for 90 or 100 yards that night against us and really kind of made a name for himself, and he's just gotten nothing but better since. He was a 14-year-old 9th grader then, getting his first Friday night start or getting his first Friday night experience, and he played like he was a 2nd or 3rd year starter. And then Brett took it on the chin a little bit his sophomore year. They were in a situation where they were in kind of a lull talent wise. And, he had a learning curve and really turned it around last year and really had a nice junior season. So we're expecting those guys to kind of be the center point of their offense. The one thing that does seem to, we have seen so far that does seem to have improved is their passing game. And I know Coach Bird who's involved in their passing game, maybe their passing game coordinator. I know he's had a lot of input in that, and you can see you're starting to see some of the old Farmington offense, especially the pass offense from when Coach Vaughn was there. And I know Coach Bird back then, during those time that Coach Vaughn was there, he was a very good, a very important part of that offense.
As heated as this rivalry is and has been, you and Coach Krupy have been very open about your mutual respect for each other. What is it about his coaching and I guess the program in general that gives you that respect for them?
Well, number one, I remember what Coach Krupy took over, and he was new to the area. I know he did have some ties to Farmington and the community, but he was relatively new to the area. Didn't know a lot of these guys. They had entered a down cycle in their talent. They had some talented guys, but they didn't have the teams that they had in 2011 and some of those teams with Coach Vaughn and he really took it on the chin the first year and even the first couple of years. But he was believed in what he was doing, and he believed in the changes that he was making, and he knew that he had confidence in the program he kind of wanted to run.
And I got one more for you, Coach. The game's over this Friday. The lights are off. Everybody is left. You're leaving the parking lot. What do you hope that the fans take away from North County versus Farmington?
I hope that they enjoy the experience, and I hope they see that the Raiders are much improved. I hope they understand that, regardless of the outcome, that's the toughest schedule that we've played in my tenure as head coach. Our opponent's winning percentage last year was right at 58%. So it's not going to be an easy season. We see a lot of power run teams this year that are going to line up and just try to run the ball down our throats. And, our team is going to, take a lot of physical, I don't want to say punishment, but they're going to take a lot of physical hits. And then the kind of football we hope to play this year is also a physical style. So being healthy and staying injury free and just competing and understanding that this is a long season, that there's 9 more games after Friday night, regardless of the outcome. And each game matters as far as district standings. And, at the end, when you get to week 10, you definitely want to be one of the top four seeds in your district, just so you can host those week 10 games. And the higher the seed you are, the more you get to host and the more you get your kids get to play, on their home field and in front of their hometown fans.
Friday, August 30th in Bonne Terre, Missouri at North County Raider Field, the Farmington Knights and the North County Raiders. We are excited for it. Thanks so much, Coach, and we'll see you on Friday.
Thanks, Chad, and I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Triple Creek Realty is simple, honest, reliable real estate. Our agents have over 60 years of experience. They offer unbeatable attention to detail and commitment to finding your dream home, farm, or business. Check out details about this listing online. Triple Creek Realty, Farmington-based and locally owned.
Looking for top quality custom sportswear and activewear? Look no further than Nouveau Athletic. Nouveau Athletic blends innovative design with affordability, revolutionizing activewear for athletes, teams, and enthusiasts alike. From affordable, high-quality team practice wear to specialty sublimated activewear, Nouveau Athletic has grown to become a leader in sportswear and the industry, especially in cheer. Nouveau Athletic, where passion meets quality in every stitch.
For Nouveau Athletic custom apparel locally, contact Tia Cunningham at 573-701-6015. A pet is more than just a pet. They're a family member. Together you build and grow important memories that last a lifetime. Parkland Pet Cremation Service understands how important it is to respect the bond you shared and honor those precious memories. That's why they offer pet-exclusive services, a comforting and welcoming environment, cremation safeguards, professional and compassionate staff, and a wide variety of keepsakes and memorial items. Parkland Pet Cremation Service invites you to take a tour. Call us for free information or visit our facility at any time. Parkland Pet Cremation Service on 8 Highway between Park Hills and Leadwood.
Black Knight Automotive is hometown proud on Weber Road in Farmington, right across from Sonic, a small town business trying to make a big difference in how you feel about your automotive service. AC work, tires, brakes, even motor and transmission installs. Stop by or call to experience the difference. Black Knight Automotive, 573-664-1213.
Black Knight Automotive proudly sponsors high school sports.
Hi, and welcome to the Knuckleball Primetime, live from the Barn Studio. You got the Mocs here, and I'm joined online right now with Coach Eric Krupy of the Farmington Knights. Coach, how are you?
Great. How are you doing, Chad?
Doing really good. You're fresh off the practice field. It's game week, and your rivals are coming up on this Friday. How was practice today?
It was good. We had our younger guys on the practice field today. We wanted to treat this more like a traditional game week Monday. So our upperclassmen, they were actually in the film room. We were watching film, a little jamboree breakdown and evaluation, and then we went into some North County prep.
How important is a regular schedule and getting the team on a routine and a consistent routine? How important do you think that is?
To me, it's very important. You know, that's one of the things, and I've said this before, I say it in parent meetings, you know, the one thing about sport of football, it's very regimented, you know, unlike, you know, other sports where you may play on a Tuesday and then a Friday, or then you get a rain out and you get this and that, you know, football, once you get into the regular season, you know, you can set your watch to it. You know, from our standpoint, you know, we're going to play sub-varsity games on Mondays, and our upperclassmen are going to have film review. And then your big practices are Tuesday and Wednesday. And then you've got a cleanup day on Thursday. And then you compete on Friday, you know, under the Friday night lights. And so, you know, once we get into that routine, I mean, that's what it is. It's week by week. And, you know, if you do well, you get more of those at the end of the year. And that's always our goal.
You're coming off your Jamboree week last week at Festus. Know you played a few different teams. How do you think that went, and what were some of the takeaways from the Jamboree?
Well, I thought it went well. You know, obviously, especially as a football coach, there's always things that can be improved upon and things that you need to work on, and there were. But I do like a lot of the things that we did. I think we're farther along at this point in time than we've been the last few years, and so that's a very good thing. So, you know, it gives us, you know, some eagerness to get to the regular season now. But again, all in all, some really nice things, but definitely things that we need to improve upon. We're not a finished product yet, but if we can, you know, make the improvements that are necessary, you know, we like our, you know, chances as we go forward this season.
And on some of our previous conversations, you've mentioned that depth, so one of your strong suits you feel like this year, which hasn't always been the case, right? And that's a good problem to have, I would say. How do you feel that kind of goes into the game plan and the strategy?
Yeah, Chad, you're right. You know, I feel, you know, and it's just not me, it's our entire staff. We feel that, you know, we've probably got more varsity capable people on the roster than we've, you know, had recently. And so, you know, that depth is a good thing. And, you know, you talk about, you know, going into this week one game, and, you know, our last few against North County, it's been hot. You know, we've had some cramping issues and things like that. And, you know, so the ability to have people that, you know, we can proactively put in a football game and, you know, get guys off the field, get them a spell, get them a blow, get them some water before throwing them back on the field there is a very good thing for us to be able to do, to keep our kids fresh so that we're strongest in the fourth quarter. You know, we're not having to make substitutions at that point in time because we're forced to. Being able to control that on the front end of things and you know, be able to finish 48 minutes.
Does that change things in special teams as well? Because you're maybe able to give some guys some breaks that maybe they didn't in years past.
Oh, definitely. And, you know, Coach Brad Barron, he's our special teams coordinator. And as him and I were looking through things, and he's putting together, you know, potential depth as we get, you know, throughout the summer. And we look, and, you know, Coach Barron says, you know, we've got these kids that, you know, are all, you know, special teams available kids that, you know, allow our two-way starters to not have to be on the field for that rep, where maybe we needed them to cover a kickoff, you know, last year, or, you know, have to be on kick return. Now we don't need them to be on that field during that play, and we've got other kids that can do the job. And so it gets those guys that are playing so much, it gets them a blow, and it also gets some of our younger kids that experience on Friday Night Light they wouldn't necessarily otherwise have.
You mentioned Coach Barron. Can you talk about some of your other coaches on your staff and what their contributions are, maybe what some of their roles are?
Yeah, definitely. So, Coach Bird and Coach Schrader, they're our offense coordinators, co-coordinators. Coach Schrader, being a line coach, he really digs deep into the run game, and Coach Bird in pass game. We've got Coach Murphy, who also helps on both sides of the line. He's a former player, does a great job for us. He understands what we want to do because he's done it for 4 years as a player and now as a coach. Coach Lucas is also coach of the defensive line. As you know, Chad, that offensive and defensive line, that's critical to a team's success. And then we've got Coach Hartrip with the quarterbacks, Coach Brumfield. He coaches the wide receivers. It's a really good staff. They do a good job, and they work well together.
Week one there's so many unknowns as a coach, as a team, as a player, and just going into the game. And it's such a mental game, I think. And how do you prepare your guys for, we've been working hard all spring and all summer, and now it's the lights are on, right? And the stands are filled. How do you prepare them mentally for, the game time atmosphere?
Well, we've got a handful of kids that have done it. We've got 4 kids that they're going on their 3rd year being a starter. Actually, in Case McLean's case, it's actually his 4th year. He started as a freshman. But Connor Rice, Corey Crawford, Brett Dry, they're all going to be 3-year starters. So there's the 4 cogs, 3 of which play both ways. They've got as much experience as you could hope for, as long as they've been playing varsity football under the Friday Night Lights. Then we've got 3 more: in Tatum Tinsley, Ian Zoner, Scott Fripp, that were starters last year that are also returning. You can see all of them, the steps they've taken from last year to this. They've all continued to take steps forward. So we've got kids that, they've done it before, but we've also got other ones that, it'd be the first time, or at least the first time in a major role, and hope that, we've done well with them this summer, whether it be contact camps or the Jamboree last Friday, trying to find them reps. If they were able to get some special teams reps, or, just reps at any other point over the course of last season, they can lean back on that experience to be successful when things get rolling on Friday.
The North County Raiders are pretty notorious for not participating in, preseason scrimmages and jamborees. Talking about some of those unknowns, how do you, prepare for basically the unknown? You don't have really all you're kind of going off is last year. So is it a little bit of, we have to sort of be prepared for everything, or how does that change things for your preparation?
Yeah. So no doubt, Coach Jones, they don't show their cards. So you don't get a jamboree film or anything like that. So you look at, who are they returning? What did they do last year? What do we think they're going to want to hang their hat on going forward? And so you do prepare for what you anticipate, but you've also got to be ready to adjust on the fly, because they're going to throw you something that you maybe didn't expect. Hopefully we do a good enough job in the summer of showing our kids a little bit of everything and teaching concepts. And so that way, if you understand the concepts and you've been shown a wide variety of potential offenses or defenses, defensive fronts, whatever it may be, that experience, you're not going to be a chicken with your head cut off, and you're going to be able to withstand whatever you get thrown at you.
We spoke to Coach Jones earlier this week and asked him this question. Both of you guys have been pretty open about your mutual respect for each other. Even in the heated rivalry that this can be and that this has been in the past, what is it you respect about him and the program that he has over there at North County?
Oh, definitely. Coach Jones, first off, he's a very good man, first and foremost. And, that goes above and beyond anything else. But he's also a good football coach. When he's had talent, they've had some really successful seasons. And I know he runs his program the right way. He runs a tight ship, and, that's something that as a football coach you respect.
Also ask this question to Coach. I want to hear your opinions as well. How important is early success in the game, the first and second drive, the first quarter? Because we talk about the mental aspect of the game. You can see sometimes how players respond to early success, or if they don't have early success. So how important is early success in this game on Friday?
Oh, it's definitely important. You always want to, if you can be the team that the opponent has to catch up to, if you're the team with that early momentum, that's always a positive. But at the same point in time, let's say things don't necessarily go your way early. you've got to be mentally tough enough to be able to weather that and not throw your hands up and, what's going on, but you just stay the course, you keep working, you keep fighting, keep clawing, and you get yourself back into it.
What do you hope that the fans take away from the game on Friday?
Well, hopefully it's an entertaining football game, clean, well-played football game. They get their money's worth, and, the best team come out on top.
Coach, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck on Friday.
Thanks, Chad. Appreciate everything you guys are doing to keep local sports coverage and local football sports coverage alive in this region. So I can tell you it's very much appreciated.
Shelter insurance agent Craig Wood is the winner of the Best Insurance Agent of the Parkland. Award-winning service from a local veteran who truly cares about our community. Search Craig Wood Shelter and get a quote today. Home, auto, you name it, Craig has it. Providing reassurance and a safe place for you. Trust Craig Wood, your shelter insurance agent in Fredericktown. Call 573-783-6110 today. Craig Wood, your local shelter insurance agent.
Hi, I'm Robin Nagel, and I am the Executive Director at Serenity Hospice Care. I started at Serenity 17 years ago as a social worker, and I've just finished up my first year as a new director. It has always been a profound passion of mine to ensure that our patients are treated with respect, dignity, and most of all, compassion. At Serenity Hospice Care, our staff's #1 priority is excellent patient care. I am honored to continue the mission and values that Serenity Hospice Care was founded on. For information about our services, please visit serenityhc.org.
Here's what people are saying about Cornerstone Furniture in Park Hills.
The best staff, knowledgeable and personable. The entire purchasing process was super easy from start to finish. Even the warehouse guy was professional and was able to magically fit an entire bed and 2 mattresses into my vehicle.
Cornerstone Furniture at the corner of St. Joe Drive and Parkway Drive in Park Hills.
Hi, this is Trent Quialva, owner of Cornerstone Furniture and Mattress, and we are proud to sponsor high school sports.
Kick off the high school football season with Parkland Sports Live. Friday, August 30th marks the start of high school football, and Parkland Sports Live brought to you by The Barn, here to cover every thrilling moment. Join us as the Farmington Knights take on their rivals, the North County Raiders, in what promises to be an intense showdown. Can't make it to the game? No worries. Head over to the Sand Trap Indoor Golf Bar and Grill in Park Hills for a relaxing and fun environment to watch the live stream of the Farmington Knights North County Raiders game. Enjoy ice-cold beverages, delicious food, and an incredible atmosphere with fellow fans. Plus, stay after the game for free access to the golf simulators. Don't miss out on this exciting night of football and fun. See you at the Sand Trap. Parkland Sports Live, bringing you the best in high school football coverage.
Service, affordability, and selection. Those are the cornerstones of Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Farmington. You'll see the selection when you drive by their lot at the Fairgrounds exit. You'll notice the affordability when you talk to their experienced salespeople. And you'll love the service when you take your new Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram in for maintenance. New or pre-owned, cars, trucks, SUVs, and anything else in between. Pull into Pettis Chrysler Dodge Ram of Farmington today. 431-7800. PettisAutos.com.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
Ready to roll up your sleeves and dive into a hands-on career? Mineral Area College is ready for you. Their Mac Tech industry and technology programs are all about getting to work and making things happen. Whether you thrive on fixing, building, or just plain problem solving, they've got a pathway for you. Welding, HVAC, auto tech, construction, and more. You'll gain the practical skills and real-world experience needed to thrive in today's job market. Take the first step to a fulfilling career in a Mac Tech program. Apply today at mineralarea.edu.
Amped Lifestyle Personal Training and Functional Fitness by Michelle Smith takes your fitness to the next level. With 4 personal trainers and locations in Farmington and Park Hills, Amped Lifestyle Personal Training makes fitting in that workout convenient. Ask about bungee fitness, group sessions, athletic training, 55 plus, cardio hip, and yoga sessions with Mary, all taught by certified instructors. Amped Lifestyle Personal Training and Functional Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, 760-9931.
Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling has the equipment and know-how to get that job done right. They dig basements, ponds, lakes, roads, and clearings and haul in the rock. Check out Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling's commercial work at Domino's in Farmington and Fredericktown and Leadbelt Motorsports. Call Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling today at 701-3258. That's 701-3258.
When it won't start, call Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing, 431-2117. K. Buckley Towing can handle lockouts, jump starts, and their heavy-duty wreckers can pull nearly any size RV tractor trailer. With 24-hour roadside assistance, Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing will be there when you need it most. Save this number into your phone right now, 573-431-2117.
The final weekend of the month of August signifies a new season on the gridiron. The first full weekend in college football ready to kick off tomorrow in Mass. We're a week out just about from the start of the NFL season, a week from yesterday. High school football kicks off tonight, and we're on hand for an old school rivalry matchup, North County and Farmington. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Parkland Sports Live. Greg Allen, Jake Whitener, Mark Reeves, Jason Loughary, our entire crew. Great to have you with us from an as-expected packed Raider field. Farmington in town as the North County Raiders and Farmington Knights. Jake, renew one of the oldest rivalries between these schools. It goes back quite some years. Great to sit alongside with you. It's been some time since I've been with you. This is going to be a lot of fun tonight. Great to see you, partner.
It will. You too. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun tonight as North County takes the field. But as you said, Greg, this is 55 years worth of blood battles between these two programs. You know, trying to figure out maybe with Central coming off that state title run last year what they're going to renew here. But watching Farmington versus North County, oldest rivalry, you know, one of the three-headed monsters of St. Francis County, to see how it's going to open up the season tonight.
You just heard the pregame conversations with the respective head coaches, Brian Jones and Eric Krupy. Coach Jones in his 8th season said that this is the only school in the 55 years that football's been at Bonne Terre at North County High School. They've played the same team, and it's been Farmington. This is installment number 55. Last year, this game went to Farmington, 28-14. I think, Jake, one of the interesting things over the years, and this has to do a lot with conference affiliations. Of course, Farmington has changed and now part of the SEMO conference, and just how the conference slate works out where you're open in various weeks. This game is hopscotched around the schedule. It's been in week 1. It's been in week 2. It's been in week 10. Does that matter?
I think it does. I mean, you don't know anything coming into this game if you're Farmington because, you know, regardless of who's been at the helm here at North County, they never jamboree. No one ever goes in jamboree, so you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You think you have an idea of what Coach Jones or previous coaches have done, but at the same point, week 1's a very tough slate, especially against a rivalry that's 55 years going.
Farmington coming off a season under Eric Krupy in his 11th year, 6-6 a campaign ago. It's been a little different for North County. They had a near run to a state championship game from 2021, a 12-2 season. Since then, it was 8-3 the year after. Then, if you want to call it the bottoming out, 4-7. That's still not too shabby.
No.
They're looking to turn that around and kind of have another uptick season. I did note one thing both coaches told us down to the field. They're both healthy coming in, and that's exactly, as a coach, what you want in week 1.
By all means, you've got to come into week 1 healthy because, I mean, this, as you said, how do you start your season? It's going to transpire. If you've got that 1 or 2 injuries coming into week 1, you may not just be talking about a week 1 upset or, you know, having to fight through with backups. It could be a prolonged issue if you are getting the depth, you know, already injured into week 1 because they were a second team or they maybe weren't ready for Friday Night Lights. But something you said, though, is in the 8 years that Brian Jones has been here, he's only had 2 losing seasons or below 500, which says something about North County, because there was a time there where it was pretty consistent to be about that 500 or slightly below mark.
Brian Jones preceded by Dave Dallas at a 3-year helm. Jeremy McDowell 5 years before that. David Leeds, Steve Aubuchon for 3. And then you get back to the kind of old guard at North County coaching ranks in the years of Matt Haug back in the beginning of the 2000 seasons. That's not when he started, but that was kind of the beginning of the end of his tenure. Boy, what some great runs they had under Matt Haug. Todd Vaughn a number of seasons before the installment of Eric Krupy. I remember when Coach Krupy came to Farmington. I was at his introductory press conference back prior to the start of the 2013 season. He talked about wanting to turn a program around, or at least kind of keep what they'd done under Todd Vaughn in the later part of his seasons, and then he came in and went 1-9. I'll tell you this, though. There hasn't been a lot of 1-9 seasons since that first one under Coach Krupy. He's had a pretty good run going.
Correct. I mean, he went 2 years where he struggled in the beginning, and it wasn't for his lack. I mean, Eric is a great man when it comes to schemes. X's and O's, he knows. He's been doing it for a lot of years. There's not many coaches that would come into a program that was coming off a state quarterfinal run to Todd Vaughn's last year at 3-7, and then, to start kind of trickling down. I mean, Todd had a great offer to go to Belton, and then Eric comes in, gets hired on. We're 1-9. I believe we went 3-7 the next year, but from that moment on, it started being a staple to, we are going to make this program something of a tradition, and you hit it. I mean, this is what people are wanting to see, the blue and gold, the black and gold, and you mentioned one of the most famous, Hall of Famers from this area, Matt Haug, and seeing that rivalry kind of renewed, because both these coaches respect each other tremendously. Mike Tebow, Matt Haug respected each other tremendously, but at the same point, you knew that there was going to be blood on the gold at the end of the night. You knew somebody was going to bleed when this rivalry connected, so it's going to be really neat to see this week 1 kickoff, because a little muggy, but man, it's time for Friday Night Lights.
Well, let's talk about muggy and the weather and bring in the third man of our crew. And Mike Reeves, I know we opened up last year at Festus, and that was one of the big things we talked about. It lasted for 7 straight weeks. We had heat indexes with start of games being pushed back. That's not the case this year. It's a little, as Jake said, muggy, but it's certainly tolerable. It's overcast, and all this rain you kept telling me all week long. Are we going to get that tonight? Good evening, Mike.
It's all hit and miss. We could still get something. It's not guaranteed we'll get it. At least we're not continually monitoring the wet bulb tonight, like I feared we would be doing to try to keep an eye on things. That's not the case at this juncture. Both coaches are very concerned, though. The amount of cramping that takes place early season when you have these kind of games is just, no matter how much you prepare for it still tends to happen. So with all that being said, it is a factor. It is the muggy level. There's no breeze down here whatsoever, and they're going to have to play through it. Hopefully it's the only week of the season they really deal with this type of heat and humidity.
Well, anybody that knows what the wet bulb means, I'll just give it to you. The wet bulb reading right now in Bonne Terre is at 80. So whatever that tells anybody in the know, it's at 80. Field conditions not an issue. Turf conditions, one thing that will be a condition, Mike, North County is opening up under a new quarterback this season. Farmington brings in the veteran. How different will that be going forward as the night goes along, that the Raiders are operating under a rookie quarterback tonight, Mike?
Greg, I think some of the worry about are that opening night jitter that you might not have with a veteran. Also, if things go sideways at any point early in the game, how does somebody who hasn't played in that circumstance yet deal with it? Big margins. There were some point in the game it didn't go the way they wanted it to. With a young quarterback at the helm, or I will say a more inexperienced quarterback at the helm, you may run into that a little bit more than one that's been through it already at this level. Plus, Greg, you're opening in a rivalry game. Nobody shies away from the fact that this is an important game beyond just somebody's 1-0 and somebody's 0-1. It's more important than that. And I think everybody, because of that, knows that there's a little extra added stress on the players as well, especially those that haven't done this before. So I think it's a factor, but I think a good start would make a big difference for a player who's got a little bit less experience in a game like this.
Our coverage tonight brought to you by Middle Area College and Mac Tech. Applied today at middlearea.edu. Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center. Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Farmington. Craig Wood, your shelter insurance agent in Fredericktown, and Parkland Pet Cremation and Services. Farmington in the road whites tonight. They're out for the coin toss against the Raiders in the all blue this evening. Weather right now not too shabby at all. A little, like you said, muggy. Temperatures at 85 degrees as we await kickoff coming up near the top of the hour. The rest of the slate for week number 1. Teams of interest tonight. Potosi opens at home against St. Clair. Poplar Bluff is down across state lines in Valley View, Arkansas. Valley Catholic, always a Class 1 power there at Monroe City tonight. You got the Eagles of New Madrid and Cape Central opening up in Cape Girardeau. The Rams of MICDS are down south in Hillsborough tonight. Chaffee and Grandview doing battle. Jackson and Cardinal Ritter. How about that matchup in week number 1? That should be a doozy. We've got Rolla and Festus, St. John, St. Vincent, Melville hosting Fox, Park Hills Central. We see them next week. Brandon Geiler, Jake Whitener, and Mike Reeves will have the call when Jefferson comes to town. Tonight, it's the Dutchmen of Owensville who host Central tonight. St. Pius at Carruthersville, Seckman at Parkway West. You've got Crystal City at Sykeston, Francis House Central at Liberty. And Herculaneum opens up a brand new turf field tonight at their residence. They host the Owls of Windsor. I've been on that field at Herculaneum. It is absolutely beautiful. And of course, both these schools know about opening up turf fields. It's become all the rage in high schools around the area. Add Herculaneum to the list. They've got one too.
That's about it. It's due for them, though. You know,
it was big time due for them.
Big time due. You know, and good for them. I mean, Blaine Boss doing a lot of good work up there with the Herky Black Cats. So, I mean, kudos to them for getting it.
Blaine Boss came out of the Windsor operation in his playing days, spent some coaching years at Perryville and now at Herculaneum. Building a good crew up there in Black Cat territory. But tonight, it's Raiders and Knights, the order of business. Glad you're with us on Parkland Sports Live, wherever it finds you on a Friday night. Farmington to kick it away. And the Raiders will see that young offense, at least young quarterback, to lead things off here on the opening drive.
You know, that's one of the versatile things here, Greg, is knowing what Ian Zahner can do year after year, whether he's going to get a touchback for him, start him down the 20, or he's the master of these pop-over kicks. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Krupy and Brad Barron go with.
He's got kickoffs and punts, both of 60 yards along for the season. This one will be taken a yard and a half deep into the end zone, and it will come out on the touchback. 85 degrees at kickoff, and away we go in week 1.
You know, another thing we talked about Eric Krupy and his schematics. It's going to be interesting to see. He's got a sophomore quarterback across the line of scrimmage from how much pressure he brings, because he does have a pretty good offensive line. He returns 4 offensive starters on that line.
As far as those starters, you've got Kyle Pennington, Tyler Pipkin, Xavier Shearfus, Seth Keene across the front 4 for North County. Adam Burns over there as well. Brady McClure, your quarterback. Aaron Cook, your running back. And the wideouts, Kelton, McFerrin, Landon Carroll, Jackson Shearfus, and Ashton Gold. High snap and a design keep to the right. And a gain of 6. The Farmington Knights defense up front, Corbin Phillips, Colin Winch, Scott Fripp, one of 6 returners on that defensive side, Chase Buchanan, Connor Rice, Casey McLean, and Caleb Leask, your linebackers. And the secondary consists of Tatum Tinsley, Josh McCarthy, Ian Zoner, and Brett Dry.
And there's a lot of experience on this second half, so we'll see. I mean, first play, he went against the North County transfer and Colin up front, and again, he went his direction.
Oh, there's a hit and loose football and immediate pressure right up the middle. Caleb Leask lays out Brady McClure, the young sophomore, 6 foot, 173 pounds at the helm for the Raiders.
We got a flag. I don't know if they're going to call intentional grounding here or.
Everybody else will be the same. Wyatt will be on camera. Jake will be on color.
There's a gain of 6 on first down.
Well, Hunter will be back here. North County's got a home game next week.
I'm going to get him with intentional grounding. I'm going to lose it down here. Okay.
Rivalry matchup in week 1, Farmington, North County.
Okay. So I have a home game, but I'm sure I can set all this up and have everything.
Aaron Cook, one of the top running backs a year ago, 546 yards on 65 carries and 6 touchdowns for the blue and gold, who are now in the shadows of their own end zone.
Screen.
Roll to the right, in trouble and being pressured up the right side and not even back to the original line of scrimmage is McClure. He's still shy of the 20, and it'll bring up 3rd and long.
You know, that's going to be hard for this North County offense. I mean, they've had 2 runs. It looked like a screen pass. The tight end screen was set up there. But the D-line, the Farmington did a great job, sucked it in, read it out. But it's going to be hard if this sophomore quarterback's going to have to evade the pocket that much and get his wheels going.
And beg your pardon, it's 4th down after the loss of down on the intentional grounding. So Farmington's going to get great field position out of this. In fact, the return man for the Knights is standing in Raider territory. High, short punt. And it'll roll near the 50 and be down at the 46. Tatum Tinsley didn't want to touch it, and so the Knights offense takes the field for the first time.
It would be interesting, Greg. I mean, there for a lot of years when Coach Krupy got into his kind of his feel of what he liked for the offense, and there was a lot of triple option. It would be really interesting with the arm that Brett Dry has and the weapons he has, you know, at the outside receiver spots, if there's not a little bit more to this pistol action with Brett and seeing if he can't air it out a little bit here.
Mike Reeves, what do you got down on the field for us?
The Farmington group down there on the sideline, that entire sequence was, this is what we ought to be doing all night. We should have this kind of advantage all night up front. That's what they feel like, at least with the players and a couple of the coaches. Well, the first series went very well for the Farmington defense.
Brett Dry, 68 of 127 for 701 yards last season. He'll have to wait another snap before he takes the field for the first time officially. We're going to redo the punt. Good pressure off the right side, but this a little lower punt, but it'll be down just about the same spot, close to 3 yards shy of that at the 43. 10-13 to go first quarter.
One of the weapons, Greg, that, you know, Farmington's kind of had hidden was he came on late in the season is that number 40 sophomore, Josh McCarthy. You know, a lot of people knew the speed last year of the Harlow boy from Central. Josh McCarthy is a sophomore. I mean, he's got some track wheels on him to see if he's not a weapon for them early in this game.
Farmington, 3 wide, 2 to the right, 1 at a slot, man in motion, and a quarterback keeper for the moment. This is Dry, trying the right side, and he's got across the 35, close to first down yardage, maybe a yard short at the 34. But I know Mike and I were talking about this before the game, and Jake, you certainly know all about this. Boy, you talk about high school football and where it's won. It is, if you could dominate the line of scrimmage in the trenches, you can win football.
By all means, but this is going to be a great bloodbath. I mean, see who comes out at the end of this game. This is going to be a war of nutrition inside.
Dry gives this one off, and the Raiders were there to stuff it. Right up the middle, Xavier Schirfus, senior, 6'1", 250, able to put him to the turf quickly and bring up a 3rd down and short. 3rd and 4. Opening drive for the Knights, no score. Packed house as expected at Raider Field. I would think it'd be great as a staff and as a school and as an administration to have a rivalry game right to kick off the season. This is Dry on a keeper. Left side, he's got first down yardage, and he's close to the 25 as he's wrapped up finally by Aaron Cook from the North County Raiders, and a first down moves the chains.
You know, and something's going to be a tempo. As you see how fast Farmington gets in and out of this huddle here, you know, by the time they break, they get the play, they're usually gone within about 5 seconds from breaking that huddle. And giving North County a lot of time to line up is not what they're going for here. So, you know, we talked about the battle inside. You have to go in. There's no breeze here on the field. I mean, the cramping situation, as fast tempo as they are getting out of the huddle, getting the ball snap, could come into play here.
Go ahead and bring my T-Mobile spot over here.
First down, Dry on a rollout, looking for his receiver. That's Jack Embry over the middle, throws it near the goal line, but it's intercepted, and the Raiders get the ball back and avoid points going on the board. Coming across the formation for the interception. North County able to read that deep ball to the goal line, and it was Dylan Wisnowski, the 5'11 senior, that got up in the air in front of Jack Embry and took it away before it could get to Embry. Raiders, right where they punted this ball last time, near their goal line, take over their 1st and 10. 8:23 to go in the first. Football at their own 3-yard line. And so now the sophomore in all kinds of trouble, and Brady McClure testing his mettle early.
And both safeties crashed on that ball in the air, and man, oh man, had they not touched each other, he had a lot of green ahead of him on this sideline.
And another flag thrown. If this one's against the Raiders, it won't amount to much.
I think he got his timeout. He was trying to call a timeout before the play clock died.
I'm not sure at your own 3 why you'd even want to use a timeout there. It's only going to cost you 1.5 yards.
Yeah, unless he's just nervous, man. That sophomore, I mean, like we said, he's already been on the run twice here, and he had one big sack off the lease boy coming from that will linebacker spot. So probably just doesn't want to give up that early safety here and then have to kick the ball right back to a pretty potent offense.
So the interception. Raiders have not been able to flip the field yet, but they keep the Knights off the board. Our coverage tonight, courtesy of Black Knight Automotive in Farmington, Amp Lifestyle Personal Trading with Michelle Smith, Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling, Triple Creek Realty, simple, honest, reliable real estate, and Parkland Pharmacy, Farmington, Deloge, Fredericktown, Ironton, Piedmont, and Greenville. Greg Allen, Jake Whitener, Mike Reeves.
It's nice to see this. You know, we talk about week 1 football. Everyone gets excited for it. We have the cross-county rivalry. But, man, just seeing the amount of kids that come back and see this, you know, on both sides, just seeing the track filled with even young kids wanting to come out and watch Friday Night Lights and see what it's all about. Kind of gives you the feel-goods for Fridays.
Kicking off the official start to the high school sports season with style with an old-school rivalry match. High snap, pulled down, straight ahead, keep this time. And maybe a couple out to the 5.
I'm not 100% sure that wasn't intended to go the opposite side, but regardless, I mean, got some yards on it. They got a O-line's going to have to grit this one out, get a little movement here, because if they're forced to punt, you know, this is a bad situation, because last year one was close, but then Gabe Giuliani, as an outside linebacker last year, blocked one, almost took it to the house. So, I mean, I know that they've got that in their back pocket as they get ready for a special teams play if they can't move this ball.
Visnowski, who had the interception, split wide to the near side. They give on the interior this time, and Aaron Cook stood up immediately. Early on, tough sledding in that Farmington thicket up front.
You know, that's one thing Coach Krupy and his defensive staff does really well. I mean, they hide, they scheme, they've got all these twists and motions and blitzes, especially if you're going to go a 2-back set. You're just inviting another linebacker into the box or even a safety to come down and play football. But, you know, they do a great job, and that's really hard for Coach Jones. I mean, they know each other very well, playing, you know, the last 8 seasons with Brian as the head coach. But at the same point, you never know what Coach Krupy and his defensive staff schemes up all summer waiting on you in the blue and gold.
Coach Krupy in his 12th year, Brian Jones in his 8th campaign. This time it's McClure under center. And a handoff straight ahead. Cook with room. Bounced outside and cuts back inside. Cook out near the 40-yard line before he's finally taken down. And the Raiders able to at least get a chunk play to get themselves some better field position. And Aaron Cook with the best run of the game, best play of the game. No question for the Raiders so far.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, they needed that. That was a 26-yard run for Aaron Cook right up the middle. So, I mean, now you're starting to wonder where's your middle linebacker playing, because they have attacked inside. The first series they were going outside trying to evade the pocket. Now, you know, in this 4-3 that Eric runs, if you get wide receivers, if you get too wide, you're kind of vacating the middle of the field, and that's something Coach Jones is pretty familiar with.
So 1st and 10, fresh set of downs for North County, and spinning out of traffic and really making a pretty nice gain of around 7 with that play was Landon Whitfield. Well, that looked dead in the water at the outset, and then all of a sudden, Whitfield able to hit the B button, spin out of a couple tackles, and bring it up to near the 45. And before we get a 2nd down play, another stoppage and a whistle.
This is, you know, week 1 high school football, so you take your extra water break here halfway through the first quarter. Which is smart. It's a 4-week system. When they do this, the first 4 weeks of the season, make sure that all the boys are staying hydrated with the unknowns of Missouri weather. So, like we said, there still hasn't been a breeze come across this field yet, Greg.
No score, 5:57 to go in the first. Mike Reeves down there on the field, right behind the Farmington sideline. What do you got for us, Mike?
It's interesting, Greg. You made the mention just a bit ago. You said, hey, they haven't been able to flip the field. As soon as that big run occurred for North County, the general consensus straight up and down the bench on the Farmington side was, all right, we got to stop them now, and let's not let them gain the field position. And that play changed a lot related to just field. Now this series of downs becomes very important.
So the Raiders on second and I call it 4. The big run up the middle by Aaron Cook setting up this drive so far. 5th play of the drive, keep it on the ground, and touch Farmington territory for the first time tonight. And it's surprising, Jake, just after I said, trying to navigate the Farmington thicket up the middle. That's 2 plays in a row now. The big gainer by Cook in that first down run. They've kept it between the tackles.
They have, and I mean, what's interesting is seeing where the tight ends lining up here, because they're going multiple receivers. They have 2-back set here, so if they're throwing in the tight end, which it looks like tight end right here, and you're in your 21 personnel, you got some lanes in here because you're spreading out in the defensive lineman. You're getting an extra gap, expecting that linebacker to go toe-to-toe on ISO blocking.
Noah Lashley and Aaron Cook in the backfield. Keep it on the ground again. And the 6th play of the drive is a gain of around 3. Nearing the Farmington 40 and nearing the 5-minute mark remaining, quarter 1, no score. 28-14 in week 1 last year. The Knights won in Farmington. The last time they played here was week 1 2 years ago. The Raiders won it 36-22. This is their 28th meeting between these two since the start of the 2000 season. This is a handoff, and nobody for the moment around. The ball carried to the corner, and a touchdown for the Raiders. McClure from 41 out, and North County able to put the first points on the board to start the new season.
And they just did that. They've went 4 plays in a row, pound the rock, pound the rock. Quarterback showed the exact same play action, and he just went off the edge. The defensive end crashed to the fullback. Nobody was on contain on the outside. They took it for a 42-yard touchdown.
Line drive kick. Put it through for Cole Mullins, and the Raiders take the early 7-0 lead over Farmington with 4:41 to go in the first. And you're watching coverage of high school football week 1 from Bonne Terre on Parkland Sports Live.
Honest, reliable real estate. Our agents have over 60 years of experience. They offer unbeatable attention to detail and commitment to finding your dream home, farm, or business. Check out details about this listing online. Triple Creek Realty, Farmington-based and locally owned.
Looking for top quality custom sportswear and activewear? Look no further than Nouveau Athletic. Nouveau Athletic blends innovative design with affordability, revolutionizing activewear for athletes, teams, and enthusiasts alike. From affordable...
See what Mike Reeves has us before the kickoff with the Raiders on the scoreboard first. Mike?
Hey, Greg, Jake, what did we talk about just before the game about getting off to a good start or facing adversity? North County faced some early adversity. There were a couple of things didn't know well at all. You're pinned back near your own goal line, and all of a sudden you've scored 6. Now, they've responded to the adversity. Farmington faces their first one. How do they respond to this drive? I thought that was a big drive for the Raiders. Huge.
7 plays, 97 yards, 3 minutes and 42 seconds off the first quarter clock on the 41-yard touchdown run by quarterback Brady McClure. That'll take some jitters away from the sophomore, won't it?
You bet it will. But it probably puts a little jitters into the Farmington's pocket.
That kickoff's going to end up out of bounds. And so the Knights will have good field position with 4:41 remaining in the first.
You know, I'm sure Coach Jones and his staff, I mean, knowing what's at stake here to start your season, as we said, both teams are healthy, so you can't put that out there. You know, you're at full tilt here. But at the same point, knowing you have a sophomore quarterback, you're trying to build trust in that program, and to have him take the lead there and go 97 yards, only 7 plays. That's the key part. 7 plays to march the field, 97. And, yeah, I mean, the trust factor's got to start building there, going through the offseason, knowing what your team's going to face week 1, because you never know exactly what team's hiding what. They've had 3 months to work on it. You know, that trust factor, this team, I'm sure the camaraderie is going to be there as we build for the rest of the game.
Aaron Cook had the big 30-plus yard gain and then 41 more on the touchdown run by McClure. Drive with a handoff this time behind him with Tatum Tinsley. He'll break a tackle and he'll get nearly a first down depending on the spot out to about the 45-yard line.
You know, and there's so many people that can touch. Whenever you run an offense where every play's got a different formation or a different motion, you know, it makes your defense think. It makes them stop and regulate, what are my rules, what are my boundaries here, whose guy is this in motion. When you get a team like this, we said they come in and out of the huddle in Farmington's offense, you don't know who's going to go in motion, so you got to be able to shift the field rather quick.
Tatum Tinsley, 3.4 yards a carry last year, 10 on that play prior to this one. This one will gain 1. Josh McCarthy. Farmington offense across the front 5, Keaton Gibbs, Scott Fripp, Corey Crawford, Connor Farrell, and Wyatt McDowell. Brett Dry operating the offense. Behind him, Casey McLean, one of the fullbacks. Wideouts, Ian Zoner and Jack Embry. Tatum Tinsley, your tight end. And some different formations. They'll use Connor Rice and Josh McCarthy as well. 6 returning starters on offense for Farmington. And a flag before this 2nd and 9. North County's defense, Kyle Pennington, Tyler Pipkin, Xavier Shearfuss, and Seth Keene across the front. Linebacking quartet of Jackson Shearfuss, Noah Lashley, Aaron Cook, and Logan McCarty. And in the secondary, Kelton McFerrin, Dylan Wisnowski, who already has an interception tonight, and Ashton Goad. That flag marched off against Farmington, so 2nd and behind the sticks. 2nd and nearly 15 here. Clock rolls to 3.5 remaining, quarter 1. 7-0 Raiders. North County next week, Glenwood, Illinois. Knights host St. Clair. RPO is a handoff and stuffed immediately that time. And the Raiders able to stay home, and Seth Keene made the stop on Casey McLean. And now it's 3rd and long.
You know, and that's hard for this offense because he comes in as a true freshman, has an outstanding year. He winds up being a dream team candidate. And, I mean, when you run this, your fullback's got to be tough as nails. But when you have a tough as nails quarterback like Casey McLean and a triple option, it makes it really easy yet hard because you got to tackle him, but it also makes it very easy to know where your read key is from the inside with your interior lineman and your Mike linebacker.
Casey McLean, 201 yards, 201 carries last year for over 1,000 yards on the ground. Pass broken up nicely and intercepted by the Raiders, and then it came loose on the sideline. We'll see if they call the catch by Wisnowski, his 2nd interception of the night. And the Raiders take over just shy of the Farmington 40. So 2 interceptions now thrown by Farmington. Wisnowski broke it up and was caught by a teammate. And the Raiders, Jackson Shearfuss comes limping off the field far side.
Man, that's not the momentum you want. You just had a team go 97 yards. You know, you have a big first down run out of McCarthy. You start to stall out just a little bit, and then to get a second one. Now we're on their end of the field, too, and they've only got to go 42 yards now to get into the end zone.
Not much on that first down play. That was Cook again on the carry. Minimal gain, 2nd down. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining first quarter. They give him a gain of 2. Temperatures in the 80s at kickoff.
You know, it's something that's going to be interesting is how much they've ran the ball here, Greg. I mean, they're going on that entire drive now 8 plays in a row where they haven't even tried a pass. And seeing how tight the safeties now are playing downhill.
McClure under center. Straight ahead. Cook able to find a seam and get close to and does secure another first down. That's not Cook. Check it. That's going to be Noah Lashley. And as you just pointed out, Jake, everything is on the ground. The only plays through the air for the Raiders that have been caught have been thrown by Brett Dry.
And I mean, they're doing a good job inside. They're staying within the A gaps, and if they see that D end start to crash down, both times they've started to do that. They've bounced out, found a little pocket, one play for +1, and then one play by the quarterback, seeing that defensive end crash to the C gap down to the B, and he took it 42 yards on that last possession the Raiders had.
McClure fumbled it, picked it back up, trying to elude defenders in the backfield. Does. Scampers, center of the field, breaks a couple tackles, spins down inside the 10. And maybe Brady McClure is onto something as the new quarterback and signal caller for the Raiders. The slippery sophomore puts them up 1st and goal with now a minute to go in the quarter.
Got a 3-back set in right now. See if they're going to go power I or offset I or the true Maryland I. Looks like it's coming out possibly. You know, it's something to watch this young man run the ball like this because he looks a lot like one of his football coaches over there, his quarterback's coach in Wyatt Compton.
Seth Keene, the up man in the I. They'll give it to Cook. Straight ahead. Powers inside the 5 before he's stopped. And they can take this one to the quarter if they want. 20 seconds left on the game clock, 31 on the play clock. Oh, it's been an impressive performance in quarter 1. Since that opening drive for the Raiders, everything on the ground. Quick give this time, and 6 more on the ground. Noah Lashley able to spin off the left side and fall into the end zone, and a 13-0 lead for the guys that call this place home. That came at the end of the quarter.
Extra points through.
So a 14-0 lead to the end of 1, and the Raiders loving what they're seeing so far through the first dozen minutes. Quarter 2 coming up. It's 14-0 North County on Parkland Sports Live.
Revolutionizing activewear for athletes, teams, and enthusiasts alike. From affordable, high-quality team practice wear to specialty sublimated activewear, Nuvo Athletic has grown to become a leader in sportswear and the industry, especially in cheer. Nuvo Athletic, where passion meets quality in every stitch.
For Nuvo Athletic custom apparel locally, contact Tia Cunningham at 573-701-6015. A pet is more than just a pet. They're a family member. Together you build and grow important memories.
Or a second, rather. 14-0 Raiders in front. Mike Reeves down on the field. What do you got, partner?
Can I see that just for a second?
Like the old-time football coaches here talking, remember the 3 yards in a cloud of dust type, philosophies. I remember the talk that, when you throw the football, 3 things can happen and 2 of them are bad. So a lot of coaches were like, I don't want to throw it, not if it's 2/3 chance. Well, for Farmington so far, that's what's been the case. It's been bad more than good. I know they feel like they can throw the ball, but right now they got to figure some things out because those 2 turnovers have been crucial. And wow, have the Raiders found a run game.
MacTech Industry and Technology programs are all about getting to work and making things happen. Welding, HVAC, auto tech, construction, and more. You'll gain the practical skills and real-world experience needed to thrive in today's job market. Take the first step to fulfilling a career in a MacTech program. Apply today at middlearea.edu with MacTech. Well, Farmington Knights on offense going to have to try to find some cleaner footing here. A little shot in the mouth early
You know, that's what, as old football coaches say, it's how you react when you get punched in the mouth, and they've been punched on 2 series now, so it's time to come back and bounce back.
Farmington with a decent return this time. Coy Fripp takes it out close to the 30. And so Farmington's offense on the field for the 3rd time tonight.
You know, Greg, and exactly what Mike had said, you know, two things have happened bad for the Farmington Knights. You know, they've thrown 2 interceptions on limited passes here. You know, it's at some point you find your ground game, but you're going to have to miss formation them. They haven't went on a silent count yet. They haven't went on a freeze count here, trying to get a little bit of yardage, an extra 5 here or there. But at the same point, you know, they've ran 9 plays and only moved the ball 25 yards.
Dry going to keep it, trying to turn that corner, and stood up after he got to the corner. He'll pick up a couple. And the first man to meet him off that corner, Tyler Pipkin, 6'2", senior, 235 pounds. I've got that as Farmington's 7th play on offense, and 2 of those plays were dry interceptions.
Yeah, and you're right, it wasn't 9 because 2 of them were penalties on the stat sheet there. You know, in both their first possessions, they had a penalty that cost them.
Just underway in quarter 2. Greg Allen, Jake Whitener, Mike Reeves.
Got an old one.
Nothing there, and Pipkin again right there to meet Casey McLean and then drive him backwards after the initial hit. McLean nowhere to go. He scored 11 touchdowns on the ground last year for Farmington, as did Brett Dry. They both averaged over 5 yards a carry.
You know, that's tough right now. You're trying your inside run game, but North County says they're not going to have it. I mean, right now they're shutting down the inside. At some point, you start to look for your veer outside if you're going to stay with the run game, or even get maybe some outside motion to get somebody fly sweep across formation.
Well, big 3rd down for Farmington to try to get something going. A big 3rd down for North County to try to keep this momentum that is squarely in their favor after 2 first-quarter touchdowns. Dry to throw. Looks right side. Not sure who it was intended to. Nobody near the area. The closest man was Connor Rice. And it's 4th down. .10-17 clock stop, 3rd straight, 3 and out. This one will come on a punt after the previous 2 ended on interceptions.
You know, and that's not what Farmington wants. They needed to move the ball. The one thing you've got to do now here from a philosophy standpoint is you got to man up. You got to play defense. You cannot allow the North County Raiders to go up 21-0 here entering the 2nd quarter on their first possession. You've got to make sure you're playing stellar defense and maybe even possibly try to strip the ball, because their run game, if you watch, they're sucking up so tight to the line that there may be a pass out of North County coming.
Looks like a timeout coming off the Eric Krupy sideline on 4th down. And that was indeed the case. Week 1. You've got the Central Rebels on the road at Owensville. We'll be in Park Hills next Friday night when the Jefferson Blue Jays come to town. Then week 3 will double dip you. We'll be here for the Friday week 3 matchup when North County welcomes DeSoto to town. There's a Thursday night matchup, Central and Fredericktown. And then week 4, we'll see Farmington really get into one of their toughest, as Eric Krupy calls it, the meat grinder part of the schedule, the Jackson Indians, and you got to play them on the road.
That's never fun. Going into the pit, that is not a very welcoming environment down there. It'll be interesting to see how Central comes out tonight. You know, I know Corey Schweiss always he's very optimistic about his teams, but, you know, after a state title run and you graduate that group of seniors that's been the crutch for that program for so many years, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Schweiss and Coach Jones can manifest this year.
Coach Schweiss, optimistic, but I would also add realistic.
Yeah, he
that.
is. He always is. I mean, he'll give it to you straight. He knows what he's got, and he knows what they need to work on.
High snap, nearly over his head. Raiders nearly got a hand out. Maybe they did. In any event, it's a terrible kick, and it will go out near the 45-ish when it's all said and done. And really, Ian Zorner was looking to get that thing away with anything on it.
Yeah, and he's got a heck of a leg, so I don't know if the pressure, I mean, that was a high snap. He's got a heck of a vertical. He went up and caught it, but man, oh man, I don't know if the pressure got to him just a tad to try to get that ball off clean.
Well, after starting at their own 20 and their own 3, it's the second straight offensive possession for the Raiders that will start on the Knights' side of the 50. This one at the 47. They play second quarter, 10:05 to go. Glad you're with us on Parkland Sports Live. Brady McClure, the sophomore quarterback last year for the Raiders, is now at Herman. Another inside give, and the surge forward carries the football to near the 40. Gain of about 4. Mike Reeves running to the far side of the field with the Raiders. I believe we can hear you in and out. Mike, what do you got? We'll give it a whirl.
Not Steve, you could hear me, but I was going to tell you. You know about how things change.
And not reliable enough to keep the connection. Sorry, Mike. And so far, nothing really has changed for the Raiders. They've just kept it on the ground and run it right down Farmington's throat for the better part of almost a full quarter now. Flags fly. I thought there was movement off the Farmington side, but were they drawn off before the snap? We'll see.
That neutral zone is very tight. I don't even know if you could fit the football down that line.
It was. You need the old Gene Steratore index card to put down.
Bet. Well, I mean, you do, though. I mean, that says something about what your defense says right now. I mean, they want to stop this run game, so they're sucking up as tight as they can. The only problem is, you know, I would not hold it against him. Coach Jones is the type of guy, if it ain't broke, he's not going to fix it. But at the same point, at some point, you're going to have to realize these safeties are within 7-8 yards trying to stop this inside run game. That outside lane here to our side of the field, there's about 26 yards of green turf here where there's nobody within that vicinity. So if this quarterback pulls, they get an outside sweep, and maybe having a little track meet down the field.
How about this formation? 3 in the backfield behind McClure. Give it to the deep man. That's Cook. And he is wrapped up and wrestled down near the 37. Good pursuit by Farmington and Chase Buchanan to hang on for dear life and bring him down.
You know, we're going old school. I mean, we're definitely in Matt Haug. We brought his name up, and Matt Haug reappears with the Maryland Eye coming out, a 3-back set. You've got to be disciplined as a defensive player here, especially those linebackers. You don't know which one's getting it on which direction. And not only now, I mean, you're turning ISO blast into a full house coming through on one single player. If you're the defense here, I mean, you've got to get on your toes and come downhill quick, but read your key.
Raiders bring Jackson Sherpas to the near side as the split wide out, and again flags fly. Matt Haug wrapping up his tenure in 2003, and in 2 of his last 4 seasons went to the state playoffs. Was 7-3, 8-3, 8-2, and 10-2 in his last 4 years, and was involved in one of the greatest football games I've ever called, the double overtime game at Cape Central. Mike was there as well. 53-52. That was a heck of a game in a state sectional. Some kind of atmosphere and just athletes all over the place.
Anytime you talk Matt Haug, I mean, you're going into the history books to find something that man was a part of.
Alex Winters was one of the wideouts for that team, if memory serves. Ball loose on the ground, stripped in the hands out of the North County ball carrier. That was Ashton Goad that lost it, and Farmington jumps on it, and just what the Knights need. Something to give them a bit of an energy surge and a big special teams play to get the ball back.
You're not wrong on that, Greg. They need a spark here. They've got 8 minutes left in this second quarter. Going into halftime, it'd be nice to put some points on the board here, try to narrow this gap. I mean, there's still plenty of football left to play before halftime, and they're as close as they can get here to midfield. I mean, they're 57 yards away from the end zone.
8:01 to go, second quarter. Well, for all the talk of rain throughout the area today, it's been wonderful so far in that regard. Humid, but no wind at all. Here's a nice counter to the right side. Testing that corner is Connor Rice. And he'll move the chains again. Rice, not even 200 yards on the ground last year on 27 carries. He did score 3 touchdowns, but he was good for over 7 yards a touch. And that time he gained 10.
I wouldn't be surprised here. I mean, they got a little nice momentum here. See if they don't come back. As long as they can maintain their water up front, do a freeze play here, maybe get an extra 5, catch the Raiders here in the neutral zone.
Dry toss coming near side. He's got a blocker in front of him trying to get to that corner. He'll turn that corner for a moment, scoot upfield a little bit more, and then push to the bounce finally. Josh McCarthy, the young sophomore for the Knights, looked to be the ball carrier. But it was Kason McLean that sealed that corner off and able to spring him free for another first down.
I wonder if we have a flag on the sideline here. Maybe a sideline warning, or maybe there's a late hit out of bounds.
There's a marker near the 32 over on the near side here.
Unsportsmanlike.
They'll go against North County. This is exactly what Eric Krupy needed to get some sort of an answer after the first quarter dominance by the opposition in North County tonight. 14 first quarter points for the Raiders. 2 Brett Dry interceptions. Noah Lashley, a 3-yard touchdown run. Brady McClure had a 41-yard touchdown run to open the scoring and make it 7-0. And this is going to put Farmington in the red zone here now, down near the 14-yard line. Serenity Hospice Care bring you coverage tonight along with Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center, the Sand Trap Indoor Golf Club and Restaurant. Dry out of the gun. Toss. Going right side. This is McCarthy again. He's not going to be as fortunate on that corner, and it was Pipkin that ran him down. Well, this is almost one of those situations, Jake. You're this far. You've got to come away with points on this drive.
I mean, they have a good field goal kicker. Ian's got a great leg, but at the same point, you really need 7 points here in this situation. 3's great. You need to narrow this gap, but you need 7 to gain mentality. You need to gain it for your team so that they've got a little bit of a push here, because they're going to have to play defense again against this pretty potent offense.
I mean, the game doesn't hinge on this drive, but boy, just for some feel good.
You bet.
Dry again out of the formation. Running room left side off the keep by Connor Rice. Coming up on 6.5 to go, second quarter in a 14-0 game. Last time these two played to a game where one team was shut out, November 4th of 1999. It was week 10, and the Raiders beat Farmington by a 21-0 count.
Yeah, that is the game of games whenever people talk, because that was district championship my freshman year. That was the game.
Week 10, big one.
It was all the marbles.
Well, this one's marbles, not nearly as many in the center of the table for this game. Dry slant over the middle, incomplete. Had a man, threw it a little bit too low and maybe a little bit too far out in front of the intended target, Jack Embry. There's a marker down far side near the 11. This is going to be a false start on Farmington. It's amazing how players remember those key games throughout their career, right?
Well,
I mean, that to me is a random game on the docket, but man, to you, it was there.
It was 5, 6 deep around this entire stadium, and it was Jeremy McDowell, 5 and out, 5 and out. That guy, you don't find quarterbacks like that, man. They're a dime. If a dime a dozen existed in true quarterbacks, he was the one. He was a single penny of dime.
Jeremy McDowell, 5-year coaching stint at North County after that, from 09 to 13. Fourth down here, and another timeout by Farmington with 6:06 showing on the counter. That was a little smarter of a timeout that time taken by Dry. Saw something he didn't like, didn't want to risk it on a 4th down play. Make sure everybody's got the same read.
Yeah, I mean, this Coach Jones in that huddle, you're saying be disciplined here because you're at 4th and 6. You don't want to jump and give them a 4th and 1. Get a quarterback sneak or an inside handoff here. Coach Krupy, you're saying, fellas, you got to get to where you're supposed to be. No matter what this play call is, we got to get there.
Well, they can get a first down. It would be near the 3-ish yard line.
And it's funny though, you say that's just a regular game to bring up, because now you bring up a lot of memories of that.
You're less concentrating on this game right now, aren't you?
Thinking of seeing that, man. Because I mean, some people do and don't know. I spent 2 years up here at North County as a coach under Jeremy and Brian, and man, you talk about some philosophy and X's and O's, but you talk about good dudes. I mean, they were all about making young men into men.
The 4th and 6. Football sitting at the 11. Big play. Farmington down 2 scores. Dry on the run. Has a man in the end zone. Touchdown. Just kind of sitting down in that corner. And it's Jack Embry on the end of an 11-yard touchdown pass. He did not have a touchdown in 3 catches last year, just 23 yards. He's got Farmington's first score of 2024. How big do the Knights need that?
They need that, but now you got to start thinking to yourself, what do we have to do to shut down this offense of North County, what Coach Jones is bringing to the table? They've got a 3-back set here. You've done a good job making sure they're not getting outside other than one run by the quarterback.
That point after is good, and we've got a 7-point game in Bonne Terre. It's North County 14, Farmington 7. Straight up 6 minutes remaining until the half on Parkland Sports Live.
Grow important memories that last a lifetime. Parkland Pet Cremation Service understands how important it is to respect the bond you shared and honor those precious memories. That's why they offer pet-exclusive services, a comforting and welcoming environment, cremation safeguards, professional and compassionate staff, and a wide variety of keepsakes and memorial items. Parkland Pet Cremation Service invites you to take a tour. Call us for free information or visit our facility at any time. Parkland Pet Cremation Service on 8 Highway between Park Hills and Leadwood.
Black Knight Automotive is home.
Greg Allen, Jake Whitener, Mike Reeves with you week 1 of high school football. We're at Park Hills next Friday night. Jefferson coming to town.
Ready for the kickoff. Now we got an official's timeout. Looks like we are hydrating.
Out of town scoreboard check time. Potosi's up 14-0 on St. Clair in that game. Fredericktown played yesterday and lost to Perryville 28-14. DeSoto, we'll see them 2 weeks from tonight here. They beat Freeburg, Illinois 21-13.
That's a good start for Coach Schmidt. DeSoto, he's doing a lot to try to turn that back to the days where DeSoto had a little bit of fire in him. It's good to see him and his staff get a week 1 win.
I wish him all the best. I hope he can do it, but the problem is he's about the umpteenth coach in a row that's been trying to do what you just said, and that's none of them have been able to do it.
That is tough. And you got to have a lot of buy-in, not only community. You got to have that school support you, know that you're trying to do what's right. I mean, football, we get it. It's an extracurricular, but gosh dang, it changes people.
Chris Johnson tried to do that exact same thing. He instituted a weightlifting program there, and he's now at Webster Groves. Yep. As much as things change, some remain the same, like Mike Reeves on the sideline. What do you got, Mike?
Guys, sometimes what we talk about is actually what is supposed to happen and goes on the field. The North County coaching staff, guys, the message across the board was, did we ever tell you this was going to be easy? No, we're going to have to battle through things. It went good for us. Now we've dealt with a little adversity. Now we come back, we get the ball, we go from there. That's what this game's going to be tonight. It's not going to be somebody running away and probably winning this one by 6 touchdowns. It's going to be tough, and what a big sequence that just was for Farmington. That 4th down conversion may have tilted things a little bit.
Is that just a coaching staff remaining uber positive there in the face of some adversity?
I mean, you like to see what you preach to them all summer come true, though. I mean, you sit there and say, this is your crosstown rival. We put in the work. We deserve it. You know, let's go out and do it. And then to see your boys come out and do it, I mean, it says wonders about your coaching staff and the faith they have in their kids.
Whistles before the kick.
Yeah, Farmington is across the 40. They're going to get the free trip back to the 35-yard line. But it is. I mean, Mike's right. That Coach Jones is always fired up on the sideline. You know, I don't know how the man does it and keeps his composure and keeps his heart healthy over there. But at the same point, it is. Any coach that's been a head coach anywhere, I mean, you preach to your kids and you're not falsely telling them anything. You're trying to build them up to understand we have faith in you, have faith in us, and then pay dividends here.
Well, I know that heart had a few extra palpitations 3 years ago when Coach Jones led his group to the state semifinals and a loss to Hannibal after they beat Vashon in the quarterfinals to get to that Hannibal Pirate matchup. As a 12-2 campaign, they were a win away from a trip to a state championship appearance.
Man, that was a tough game for them. I mean, didn't make the trip to see it, but listen, whenever there's 3 fouls against coaches in a game, you know it's some tough officiating. No love lost trying to get to the state semifinal, but at the same point, you got 3 flags on coaches in that state semifinal game.
Zoner to kick it away again, and again whistles, flags before the kick. This time down near the returners for North County. Are you counting people? Is that what you're doing?
Whenever you get that, usually you don't see 2 times in a row that you have an offsides against a kicking team. So then you start to think that maybe somebody were they on the field that wasn't supposed to be on the field. But
you would think after they had a dry run on the first effort, you wouldn't have brought extra people out for the second one.
No, you never know. I mean, in all honesty, in high school football, sometimes you get that kid that thinks they hear something and all of a sudden they're caught mid-stride going on. But it is. I mean, it's against Farmington again being offsides.
So this kickoff will take place from the 30.
You know, and it's a long way down there. You're looking at 70 yards. So touchback's probably not going to happen here. Ian's got a strong leg. But at the same point, you got to be set here to defend. Make sure you wrap up and tackle if you're Farmington, because North County's going to catch this ball.
He averaged 41.5 yards a kick, a long of 60 on a kickoff last year, Ian Zoner. Senior 6'1", 175. Line drive, smashes this one. Nobody's over there for North County. It's going to be taken near the 5. That turns out to be great for Farmington, and they've got guys down there to try to wrap up the return man. That's Goad, who lost a fumble earlier, and he brings this one back to the 25. I'll say this, Jake, all said and done, Farmington probably is pretty happy with where that thing ended up.
Technically, it probably wound up right where it was going to wind up from the get-go. It just now, as a coach, you know, you got to tell your kids, no more mental errors. You know, we can't have these mistakes, especially on special teams, because that's the hidden gem of football. A lot of people don't understand these special teams can change an entire game. They're only out there here and there, hit and miss. It's not your offense or defense taking 85+% snaps during the game. Same point, a little flaw like that could cost you in the long run.
(14-7). All the Raider points in quarter one. Farmington's lone score here in the second. Raiders ready for their 5th offensive sequence and series of the game. Ball loose again.
Looks like Farmington.
I thought a Raider jumped on it. It was loose, but Farmington is going to get it back. Wow. One play and right back to Mr. Momentum.
What a shift, first quarter to second quarter momentum here.
I didn't catch a license plate on the ball carrier, did you?
It looked like Cook. It looked like Cook had it. He actually looked like he got jarred loose because he ran over his own fullback. Fullback stopped in the hole. He lowered his shoulder. When he lowered his shoulder, it looked like his elbow caught the ribs of him and maybe jarred it loose for Tatum Tinsley or whoever it was to come in and pick it out.
Second time that the Knights will start in Raider territory at the 28. So now a chance to tie here late in the half. Toss near side, coming to the corner, and stood up and run out of bounds.
Got a late flag.
McCarthy.
Late flag way from the backside.
Coming up on 5.5. Remaining quarter 2, signaling again against Farmington. Farmington starts SEMO conference play in week 3 with a road trip to Poplar Bluff. We'll see them the following week after that at Jackson and then home for Sykeston. They wrap up the season at Union, home for Cape Central and Festus, And how about another rivalry matchup to wrap it up in the regular season finale at Park Hill Central?
Yeah, that's one that there's not, I mean, they respect each other, but there's no love lost there between Farmington Central players for the last few years. I mean, they've really heated that rivalry to be something also similar to tonight, a transfer here, a transfer there, and adds fuel to the fire.
Dry and a give. Rice trying the right side and across the 35. The North County Raiders 3 in a row at home. Glenwood, Illinois next week. DeSoto after that in week 3, and then 3 straight on the road. Hillsboro, Rolla, and Festus. Windsor at home on October 11th. St. Clair comes here in the second to last week of the regular season, and they'll finish at Sullivan. That long, windy trip that no one likes to make to Sullivan.
You know, going through both those lineups for the rest of the season, there's not an easy game for either of these teams on either of those rosters.
Dry, gonna keep, gonna throw. He's got a man over the top. Is it thrown far enough? It's broken up. Code. Good job on a ball that may have been a tick underthrown. That allowed Ashton Goad time to get up and break up the intended pass to Jack Embry. Otherwise, it may have been an extra point away from a tie game.
You know, and I don't know if Brett saw Xavier Scherfis coming through. I mean, there was some pressure coming at him, so I don't know if he gripped it a little bit too tight to let it go. It did not come out with the smooth spiral. You know, there was 2 guys coming. I don't know if the play side guy hit him or not. But, man, you're right, Greg. It was just a tad underthrown, or that was possibly 6 more points on the board.
Clock stopped with 4:43 to go until intermission. We'll hear from both head coaches coming up during the intermission report. Dry on 3rd and long. He's going to keep it. And he's finally going to be wrestled to the turf around the 27. Noah Lashley was the final man to bring him down. And so 4th down and 9. You mentioned good kicker, but you're deep in enemy territory. You're inside the 30, not quite the red zone. But even if you give it back on downs, that's a long field for the Raiders.
And it's also, I mean, he's got a good leg. That's also a pretty long field goal for a high school kicker.
It is, and you are talking field goals in the state of Missouri. I'm not sure they're legal in this state. We've talked about that for 23 years. Very few teams have had kickers that have been able to be considered a weapon from a field goal that's of any kind of makeable distance even. This one, as you mentioned, would be pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
And with the play clock winking down to 1, another timeout called by Farmington on 4th and 9.
You just keep throwing out random stuff, you know, like 2006, losing to Hannibal at Farmington, 2 field goals on the worst weather day possible. And then that young man goes into the next week and misses 3 field goals in the state championship. Greg, you're bringing up some wounds here.
Well, I haven't brought up the 08 Gateway Tech game.
Oh,
Sheldon Richardson and 53-0, and it wasn't quite the Ice Bowl, but I was on the sidelines for that one. It was miserable.
Well, and unfortunately, those inner city schools using the same field Friday after Friday or even Saturday after Saturday. I mean, they'd have 2-3 games on that thing. They'd stack them in there. That thing looked like a cow pasture. It was freezing cold and nothing but mud.
Didn't stop Sheldon Richardson.
It did not. I'm not sure there was anything ever stopping that man.
That Jaguars team was awesome. That was a state quarterfinal for Farmington and a 10-3 campaign for Todd Vaughn. All right, 4th and 9. McCarthy goes behind Dry, and the hard count may have gotten him 5 yards, but it's not going to get all required. But if they do that again, they've got it all. So march off 5 against the Raiders, and a little more manageable here at now 4th and 4. Well, now the play sheet gets a little larger on 4th and 4 than it was on 4th and 9. The zoner comes in. And now some confusion all over the place. And he may end up with too many men in the huddle field.
Farmington already broke their huddle, and then they switched out McCarthy for zoner. It's a legal substitution. So you just got those yards pinned right back to you.
So back to 4th and 9. Thy giveth, thy taketh away. Having a hard time to the end of quarter 2, still with 3 3/4 minutes remaining. I'm happy for Mike on the sideline tonight that he does not have a repeat of the 2003 North County deluge game against Ladue. That was torrential downpours. So 4th and 9 for,
you gotta snap it.
Dry in the Knights, and a play clock at 1. It's out. It's still out. No flags.
Oh, wow.
No flags. This is way after the down clock expired, but it's incomplete anyway. Wow.
I don't know how they missed that. I mean, that was three seconds or so.
Yeah. So the Raiders get a crack with 3:39 until recess. And from their own 27 this time for the blue and gold.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach Jones does different here. I mean, they've had 2 fumbles, 2 consecutive series. You know, kind of like the Farmington 2 interceptions. Now we keep flipping script back and forth. Be interested to see how he attacks us, as they still haven't attempted a pass.
Yeah, how aggressive do you want to be to try to maybe get points at the end of the half here versus how conservative because of what you just talked about, the turnovers? We'll get that answer right here with 3:39 to go on play 1. It's a quarterback keeper. And not much doing there.
Looked very similar to the first touchdown he took for 40-plus yards. Trying to get outside. I mean, they've been lulling them to sleep inside, beating up the D tackles, beating up the Mike linebacker. Now they're trying to get back outside.
Content to let the clock roll a little bit. They'll call this play at the line of scrimmage with the play clock under 20. Game clock winding down to 3 minutes. 14-7 game. Raiders led 14-0. Knights scored in the second to bring it to within a score. From the ball's on the ground. It's loose, and Farmington's on that one too. That was just a clean handoff that never transpired. That's as easy as they get, and the Raiders still muffed it. And Corbin Phillips looked like the guy that jumped on it.
Way to go, Corbin! Sorry.
Boy, it's turning into a sloppy opener now. Turnovers all over the place.
You know, and you expect some stuff in week 1, but when you usually talk about these 2 teams, you usually don't think of having 5 turnovers in the first half.
2 picks by Brett Dry, and then 3 consecutive fumbles by North County.
You know, and I know turnovers are a big thing, but like my thing watching this Farmington offense right now, they're having so much trouble getting the play calls into Brett Dry in this huddle.
Corbin Phillips setting up this drive for Farmington, and wrapped up after a gain of 5.
It was a decent little run by Brett, but by the time he got to the second level, his shoulder pads are standing straight up, and after the year that kid had last year, taking a little bit of a beat-up season, you know, you think week 1 here, lower your pads, Brett. You know, keep yourself low to the turf here. Don't expose yourself.
652 yards on 112 carries for Brett Dry. 11 touchdowns on the ground to go with 3 thrown through the air. He had 2 interceptions last year. He's got 2 interceptions tonight. Dry, handoff, straight ahead, nothing. Casey McLean takes us to 3rd down. With under 2 minutes to go until halftime, we'll hear from Brian Jones during the halftime report. Eric Krupy towards the end of that intermission segment.
You know, and you want to be smart with the clock here. You don't have any timeouts left if you're Farmington. So if you get a first down on this 3rd and 4, I mean, you got to start thinking to yourself, you're close to the end zone. I would think, go for 7 here. Try to get in as much as you can. But at the same point, you know, you can't conserve this clock here.
Dry gives it off again. And McLean, who needed the 20, has it. They will move the chains. Clock stops with 80 seconds to go. That's still plenty of time that you don't need the full-on sense of urgency as you hit the red zone.
No, you're right. You don't need a whole lot of time here, but with a running offense here, if you don't get out of bounds here on an outside run, or if you don't get on the ball in an inside run, because they're going to snap this ball with close to a minute left in this game.
You can't
with
stop
zero
with timeouts. Yeah. Dry, 2 wideouts. He's going to keep it. Option toss. Left side, try to get that corner. There's a flag, and the ball carrier, Leask, is wrestled down. Well, that flag was during the run, maybe a horse collar.
I couldn't tell where he had him. To me, the initial grab, because he leaned into him, looked like a possible face mask.
Well, that will get yardage to the Knights and stop the clock. And 51 seconds separate us from halftime. Face mask was the call. So now you're 1st and 5 from the 15. Dry out the flat to the right side, and a great open field tackle by Kelton McFerrin. Otherwise, Caleb Leask has a big play that might include points. Clock at 22, now rolling. Dry going to throw it. Rolling left, firing left towards the goal line, incomplete. Flag is down at the goal line, though, and Wisnowski can't believe it. And the clock is at 9. Well, that flag is right on the white goal line.
You know, and this is really weird to say this, Greg, because that catch was going to be, I think he was going to be about on the half-yard line when he went down. And you've got 9 seconds left. I mean, you've got to get up. You've got to make a move to the ball. I mean, maybe a QB sneak in that situation. So the pass interference, not catching that ball, could be what saves them, moving them forward here. And I know a lot of people are thinking, what do you mean if you have it on the half-yard line? You don't have time to get your whole offense to get up there, because that clock's going to start ticking on you.
And now with the clock not rolling until the snap, I know they've had to throw it the last handful of plays. Don't here, but if they do, you've got time for 2 plays.
Yeah.
And a timeout now by the Raiders. The football is at the 7, though, so not the goal line. That changes life. It's been a topsy-turvy first half. Who thought the Raiders would come out and account for the first 2 scores off Brett Dry interceptions that already matched his season total from last year in that category? And then you had all the North County miscues that really opened the door to get Farmington back in the game.
Correct. And you know something a lot of people, unless you know this Farmington staff, is you got 2 dudes calling this offense. You know, you have Coach Bird, Coach Schrader. One's the offensive run game, one's the offensive pass game. You know, you got to be in sync here. So you're not just thinking of one person right now trying to call this play. What do I know best for my offense? You've got 2 guys trying to mesh this together with 9 seconds, no timeouts. 2 shots into the end zone. I'm assuming Coach Jones assumes with this offense they're going to have to throw it. But then does that leave any open gaps for Brett Dry to see something and pull it down if he does decide that he has to pass this ball?
Well, if you're going to throw it and it's not going to be caught in the end zone, you're going to need an offensive player to make a move to get to the painted area. Because if you don't get there, now you're not getting 2 plays.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you get out of bounds.
Correct. And right now, I mean, you are in field goal position for Ian Zahner to kick this. I mean, so you make it a 14-10, which is a lot better than it sounded earlier, the 14-3 ball game before they scored.
Man in motion. They've got 4 wide, make it 3 wide in a formation. Dry's going to throw it out flat right side corner. Touchdown! It was Embry over on that side. Boy, there was some discussion as to whether or not he actually caught it. That official took a long time, and he was right there to look at it. Wow. 7-yard touchdown strike. Dry follows the back-to-back interceptions in quarter one with a late second quarter touchdown that could tie the game up. And Jack Embry able to put the Knights in the end zone. Zahner for the point after. That took 4 seconds off the clock. There's still 5 left, and we are knotted.
What a turn of events, quarter to quarter here.
A slew of penalties. 6 plays, 31-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 48 seconds.
You know, we've talked about the battle with the turnovers tonight, but I think the penalties are probably what's, aiding and killing both these teams.
That's been a big part too, yeah.
Obviously the turnovers is giving you more life for your offense, more possessions, but the turnovers are absolutely eating both these squads up.
You had the back-to-back penalties on the last Farmington kickoff. Raiders returned it to the 25, but on play one fumbled it.
Correct.
And so Farmington took it from there. 6 plays later, they had some penalties during that sequence. So did the Raiders in some big ones. The face mask, and then the one down near the goal line of the pass interference.
The pass interference set that whole thing up for him, because if he catches that, I'm not sure they can get everything in position to get up.
Yep.
So that's really weird. What do you? I go back to it. A lot of people are like, catch the ball. He's on the half-yard line. Yeah, but it's a time factor with no timeouts left on your side.
Made the halftime interview with Mike Reeves to Brian Jones a little more difficult, giving up points in the last 5 seconds of the half. Zahner just going to pooch it to the right sideline, and covered and smothered is Kelton McFerrin.
Yeah, there's a flag on that. He was down on a knee, and he got smoked by that outside gunner.
So with 4 seconds, if you would add 15 yards to that at the 35, Raiders would get the ball at midfield. All right, Mr. Sophomore quarterback, how big is your arm? Brady McClure.
And
we might find out.
We go back and forth, watching this game, a little sloppy, turnovers, penalties, and you got to think, this is week 1. It's not going to be clean, but at the same point, these young men got a second half to play, and this muggy atmosphere, you can't start to doubt yourself with the attrition, the nutrition, both sides of that. Because it's been a war, it's been a slugfest, but how much did your boys prep for tonight's muggy atmosphere? Because there is not a breeze. That flag has not moved.
Nope. McClure stands. He's got time. He still has time now, being flushed and wrapped up, and that's the half. Caleb Leask finally able to run him down for the backside and wrap him up, and the half ends with a sack. It was a great first quarter for the North County offense, but the Farmington offense came alive in quarter 2, and we head to intermission deadlocked at 2 touchdowns apiece. 14 all on Parkland Sports Live here from Raider Field.
Black Knight Automotive is hometown proud on Weber Road in Farmington, right across from Sonic, a small town business trying to make a big difference in how you feel about your automotive service. AC work, tires, brakes, even motor and transmission installs. Stop by or call to experience the difference. Black Knight Automotive, 573-664-1213.
Black Knight Automotive proudly sponsors high school sports.
Here's what people are saying about Cornerstone Furniture in Park Hills.
The best staff, knowledgeable and personable. The entire purchasing process was super easy from start to finish. Even the warehouse guy was professional and was able to magically fit an entire bed and 2 mattresses into my vehicle.
Cornerstone Furniture at the corner of St. Joe Drive and Parkway Drive in Park Hills.
Hi, this is Trent Quialva, owner of Cornerstone Furniture and Mattress, and we are proud to sponsor high school sports.
Kick off the high school football season with Parkland Sports Live. Friday, August 30th marks the start of high school football, and Parkland Sports Live brought to you by The Barn, here to cover every thrilling moment. Join us as the Farmington Knights take on their rivals, the North County Raiders, in what promises to be an intense showdown. Can't make it to the game? No worries. Head over to the Sand Trap Indoor Golf Bar and Grill in Park Hills for a relaxing and fun environment to watch the live stream of the Farmington Knights North County Raiders game. Enjoy ice-cold beverages, delicious food, and an incredible atmosphere with fellow fans. Plus, stay after the game for free access to the golf simulators. Don't miss out on this exciting night of football and fun. See you at the Sand Trap. Parkland Sports Live, bringing you the best in high school football coverage.
Shelter insurance agent Craig Wood is the winner of the Best Insurance Agent of the Parkland. Award-winning service from a local veteran who truly cares about our community. Search Craig Wood Shelter and get a quote today. Home, auto, you name it, Craig has it. Providing reassurance and a safe place for you. Trust Craig Wood, your shelter insurance agent in Fredericktown. Call 573-783-6110 today. Craig Wood, your local shelter insurance agent.
Hi, this is Michelle Day, Marketing Director with Serenity Hospice Care. Are you facing a life-limiting illness and trying to navigate the confusing world of healthcare? Let our professional staff at Serenity Hospice Care help you understand your illness and what options may be available. Serenity offers more than just hospice services. To learn more about our programs and how we can help you or your loved one, contact Serenity Hospice Care today or visit serenityhc.org.
Service, affordability, and selection. Those are the cornerstones of Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Farmington. You'll see the selection when you drive by their lot at the Fairgrounds exit. You'll notice the affordability when you talk to their experienced salespeople. And you'll love the service when you take your new Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram in for maintenance. New or pre-owned, cars, trucks, SUVs, and anything else in between. Pull into Pettis Chrysler Dodge Ram of Farmington today. 431-7800. PettisAutos.com.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
Ready to roll up your sleeves and dive into a hands-on career? Mineral Area College is ready for you. Their Mac Tech industry and technology programs are all about getting to work and making things happen. Whether you thrive on fixing, building, or just plain problem solving, they've got a pathway for you. Welding, HVAC, auto tech, construction, and more. You'll gain the practical skills and real-world experience needed to thrive in today's job market. Take the first step to a fulfilling career in a Mac Tech program. Apply today at mineralarea.edu.
Amped Lifestyle Personal Training and Functional Fitness by Michelle Smith takes your fitness to the next level. With 4 personal trainers and locations in Farmington and Park Hills, Amped Lifestyle Personal Training makes fitting in that workout convenient. Ask about bungee fitness, group sessions, athletic training, 55 plus, cardio hip, and yoga sessions with Mary, all taught by certified instructors. Amped Lifestyle Personal Training and Functional Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, 760-9931.
Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling has the equipment and know-how to get that job done right. They dig basements, ponds, lakes, roads, and clearings and haul in the rock. Check out Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling's commercial work at Domino's in Farmington and Fredericktown and Leadbelt Motorsports. Call Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling today at 701-3258. That's 701-3258.
When it won't start, call Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing, 431-2117. K. Buckley Towing can handle lockouts, jump starts, and their heavy-duty wreckers can pull nearly any size RV tractor trailer. With 24-hour roadside assistance, Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing will be there when you need it most. Save this number into your phone right now, 573-431-2117.
Triple Creek Realty is simple, honest, reliable real estate. Our agents have over 60 years of experience. They offer unbeatable attention to detail and commitment to finding your dream home, farm, or business. Check out details about this listing online. Triple Creek Realty, Farmington-based and locally owned.
Looking for top quality custom sportswear and activewear? Look no further than Nouveau Athletic. Nouveau Athletic blends innovative design with affordability, revolutionizing activewear for athletes, teams, and enthusiasts alike. From affordable, high-quality team practice wear to specialty sublimated activewear, Nouveau Athletic has grown to become a leader in sportswear and the industry, especially in cheer. Nouveau Athletic, where passion meets quality in every stitch.
For Nouveau Athletic custom apparel locally, contact Tia Cunningham at 573-701-6015. A pet is more than just a pet. They're a family member. Together you build and grow important memories that last a lifetime. Parkland Pet Cremation Service understands how important it is to respect the bond you shared and honor those precious memories. That's why they offer pet-exclusive services, a comforting and welcoming environment, cremation safeguards, professional and compassionate staff, and a wide variety of keepsakes and memorial items. Parkland Pet Cremation Service invites you to take a tour. Call us for free information or visit our facility at any time. Parkland Pet Cremation Service on 8 Highway between Park Hills and Leadwood. 14-14, our halftime score here on Parkland Sports Live on Facebook and YouTube as we are bringing you the annual bragging rights game between the Farmington Knights and the North County Raiders, and it's been a good one thus far. Raiders get out to that 14-0 lead. Farmington comes storming back, scoring just before halftime to send us into the locker room tied 14-all. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll hear Mike Reeves' halftime interview with Brian Jones. That'll come your way on the other side of this scoreboard check here at halftime. Couple of games played yesterday on Thursday night as teams try to avoid the referee shortage. We're going to have a lot of Thursday night games this year, and 2 involving local teams last night saw the Perryville Pirates double up the Fredericktown Blackcats 28-14, and the DeSoto Dragons with a victory over Freeburg, Illinois in their first game of the season, 21-13. So the Pirates and the Dragons both undefeated to start the season. 14-all is our halftime score here. At last check, Potosi Trojans leading St. Clair 21-0 in that halftime contest. Again, 14-all is our score here. We appreciate everybody tuning in on Facebook Live. Special shout out to the Sand Trap in Park Hills. How we doing, Sand Trap? Glad you're watching us on the big screen right now. And again, let's, Angie Buckingham, my apologies. We're on the opposite side of the field, so we cannot show the halftime show. But I will tell you, Unitech Digital Media has cameras on the front side of the field, so they can show the halftime show. Angie, I apologize. If we get on that side, we will show the halftime show. But they're away from us, and we just didn't want to see the backs of their heads, I guess. So my apologies, Angie. And again, Unitech Digital Media has those cameras on the home side, and they're able to do these halftime shows. So our apologies there. We're going to try to do it at Central next week. That'll be our contest as the Blue Jays of Jefferson come to Central. And we're hoping to have that halftime show for you as we will be on the home side. But unfortunately, same deal with Farmington too. Our broadcast position will be on the visitor side, so it's going to be really hard to show those halftime performances. But at Farmington, check out BKTV. I know the teacher pretty well that runs that program, and I guarantee you they will have the halftime show in full effect as they will be on that home side. Again, 14-all is our score as we have about 10 minutes left in this extended halftime. North County Raiderettes getting ready to begin their performance. The marching band already put on their show, and the cheerleaders will be heading out on the field next. Again, coming up next week, it'll be the Blue Jays of Jefferson at the Central Rebels. The Central will look to continue an amazing season they had a year ago, ending up with a state title. 14-14, Raiders and Knights tied at the half. We'll take a break here on our halftime show on Parkland Sports Live. And when we come back, hear a halftime interview with Brian Jones of the North County Raiders. That's next on Parkland Sports Live.
Black Knight Automotive is hometown proud on Weber Road in Farmington, right across from Sonic. A small town business trying to make a big difference in how you feel about your automotive service. AC work, tires, brakes, even motor and transmission installs. Stop by or call to experience the difference. Black Knight Automotive, 573-664-1213.
Black Knight Automotive proudly sponsors high school sports.
Shelter insurance agent Craig Wood is the winner of the Best Insurance Agent of the Parkland. Award-winning service from a local veteran who truly cares about our community. Search Craig Wood Shelter and get a quote today. Home, auto, you name it, Craig has it. Providing reassurance and a safe place for you. Trust Craig Wood, your shelter insurance agent in Fredericktown. Call 573-783-6110 today. Craig Wood, your local shelter insurance agent.
Hi, I'm Robin Nagel, and I am the Executive Director at Serenity Hospice Care. I started at Serenity 17 years ago as a social worker, and I've just finished up my first year as a new director. It has always been a profound passion of mine to ensure that our patients are treated with respect, dignity, and most of all, compassion. At Serenity Hospice Care, our staff's #1 priority is excellent patient care. I am honored to continue the mission and values that Serenity Hospice Care was founded on. For information about our services, please visit serenity.hc.org.
Here's what people are saying about Cornerstone Furniture in Park Hills.
The best staff, knowledgeable and personable. The entire purchasing process was super easy from start to finish. Even the warehouse guy was professional and was able to magically fit an entire bed and 2 mattresses into my vehicle.
Cornerstone Furniture at the corner of St. Joe Drive and Parkway Drive in Park Hills.
Hi, this is Trent Quialva, owner of Cornerstone Furniture and Mattress, and we are proud to sponsor high school sports.
Kick off the high school football season with Parkland Sports Live. Friday, August 30th marks the start of high school football, and Parkland Sports Live brought to you by The Barn, here to cover every thrilling moment. Join us as the Farmington Knights take on their rivals, the North County Raiders, in what promises to be an intense showdown. Can't make it to the game? No worries. Head over to the Sand Trap Indoor Golf Bar and Grill in Park Hills for a relaxing and fun environment to watch the live stream of the Farmington Knights North County Raiders game. Enjoy ice-cold beverages, delicious food, and an incredible atmosphere with fellow fans. Plus, stay after the game for free access to the golf simulators. Don't miss out on this exciting night of football and fun. See you at the Sand Trap. Parkland Sports Live, bringing you the best in high school football coverage.
Service, affordability, and selection. Those are the cornerstones of Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Farmington. You'll see the selection when you drive by their lot at the Fairgrounds exit. You'll notice the affordability when you talk to their experienced salespeople. And you'll love the service when you take your new Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram in for maintenance. New or pre-owned, cars, trucks, SUVs, and anything else in between. Pull into Pettis Chrysler Dodge Ram of Farmington today. 431-7800. PettisAutos.com.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
Ready to roll up your sleeves and dive into a hands-on career? Mineral Area College is ready for you. Their Mac Tech industry and technology programs are all about getting to work and making things happen. Whether you thrive on fixing, building, or just plain problem solving, they've got a pathway for you. Welding, HVAC, auto tech, construction, and more. You'll gain the practical skills and real-world experience needed to thrive in today's job market. Take the first step to a fulfilling career in a Mac Tech program. Apply today at mineralarea.edu.
Amped Lifestyle Personal Training and Functional Fitness by Michelle Smith takes your fitness to the next level. With 4 personal trainers and locations in Farmington and Park Hills, Amped Lifestyle Personal Training makes fitting in that workout convenient. Ask about bungee fitness, group sessions, athletic training, 55 plus, cardio hip, and yoga sessions with Mary, all taught by certified instructors. Amped Lifestyle Personal Training and Functional Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, 760-9931.
Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling has the equipment and know-how to get that job done right. They dig basements, ponds, lakes, roads, and clearings and haul in the rock. Check out Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling's commercial work at Domino's in Farmington and Fredericktown and Leadbelt Motorsports. Call Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling today at 701-3258. That's 701-3258.
When it won't start, call Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing, 431-2117. K. Buckley Towing can handle lockouts, jump starts, and their heavy-duty wreckers can pull nearly any size RV tractor.
First half that featured almost anything and everything that you could possibly have, good, bad, ugly. What were your thoughts on that one, Coach?
Started out good, then got out of our minds, and
how are you?
A couple times, didn't go the right way a couple times, and now it's 14-14.
Last one for you. What's the general message when you go in and talk to the kids to get them ready for what should be a heck of a tight second half?
We just got to polish up. I mean, we're playing with them, and nobody expected that, so we just got to polish up the mistakes, fix the mistakes, and do what we've practiced for 3 weeks.
Good luck to you in the second half. See you afterward.
Thanks, Mike.
Stroud Excavating and Hauling today at 701-3258. That's 701-3258.
When it won't start, call Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing, 431-2117. K. Buckley Towing can handle lockouts, jump starts, and their heavy-duty wreckers can pull nearly any size RV tractor trailer. With 24-hour roadside assistance, Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing will be there when you need it most. Save this number into your phone right now, 573-431-2117.
Triple Creek Realty is simple, honest, reliable real estate. Our agents have over 60 years of experience. They offer unbeatable attention to detail and commitment to finding your dream home, farm, or business. Check out details about this listing online. Triple Creek Realty, Farmington-based and locally owned.
Looking for top quality custom sportswear and activewear? Look no further than Nouveau Athletic. Nouveau Athletic blends innovative design with affordability, revolutionizing activewear for athletes, teams, and enthusiasts alike. From affordable, high-quality team practice wear to specialty sublimated activewear, Nouveau Athletic has grown to become a leader in sportswear and the industry, especially in cheer. Nouveau Athletic, where passion meets quality in every stitch.
For Nouveau Athletic custom apparel locally, contact Tia Cunningham at 573-701-6015. A pet is more than just a pet. They're a family member. Together you build and grow important memories that last a lifetime. Parkland Pet Cremation Service understands how important it is to respect the bond you shared and honor those precious memories. That's why they offer pet-exclusive services, a comforting and welcoming environment, cremation safeguards, professional and compassionate staff, and a wide variety of keepsakes and memorial items. Parkland Pet Cremation Service invites you to take a tour. Call us for free information or visit our facility at any time. Parkland Pet Cremation Service on 8 Highway between Park Hills and Leadwood.
Black Knight Automotive is hometown proud on Weber Road in Farmington, right across from Sonic, a small town business trying to make a big difference in how you feel about your automotive service. AC work, tires, brakes, even motor and transmission installs. Stop by or call to experience the difference. Black Knight Automotive, 573-664-1213.
Black Knight Automotive proudly sponsors high school sports.
Shelter insurance agent Craig Wood is the winner of the Best Insurance Agent of the Parkland. Award-winning service from a local veteran who truly cares about our community. Search Craig Wood Shelter and get a quote today. Home, auto, you name it, Craig has it. Providing reassurance and a safe place for you. Trust Craig Wood, your shelter insurance agent in Fredericktown. Call 573-783-6110 today. Craig Wood, your local shelter insurance agent.
Hi, I'm Robin Nagel, and I am the Executive Director at Serenity Hospice Care. I started at Serenity 17 years ago as a social worker, and I've just finished up my first year as a new director. It has always been a profound passion of mine to ensure that our patients are treated with respect, dignity, and most of all, compassion. At Serenity Hospice Care, our staff's #1 priority is excellent patient care. I am honored to continue the mission and values that Serenity Hospice Care was founded on. For information about our services, please visit serenityhc.org.
Here's what people are saying about Cornerstone Furniture in Park Hills.
The best staff, knowledgeable and personable. The entire purchasing process was super easy from start to finish. Even the warehouse guy was professional and was able to magically fit an entire bed and 2 mattresses into my vehicle.
Cornerstone Furniture at the corner of St. Joe Drive and Parkway Drive in Park Hills.
Hi, this is Trent Quialva, owner of Cornerstone Furniture and Mattress, and we are proud to sponsor high school sports.
Kick off the high school football season with Parkland Sports Live. Friday, August 30th marks the start of high school football, and Parkland Sports Live brought to you by The Barn, here to cover every thrilling moment. Join us as the Farmington Knights take on their rivals, the North County Raiders, in what promises to be an intense showdown. Can't make it to the game? No worries. Head over to the Sand Trap Indoor Golf Bar and Grill in Park Hills for a relaxing and fun environment to watch the live stream of the Farmington Knights North County Raiders game. Enjoy ice-cold beverages, delicious food, and an incredible atmosphere with fellow fans. Plus, stay after the game for free access to the golf simulators. Don't miss out on this exciting night of football and fun. See you at the Sand Trap. Parkland Sports Live, bringing you the best in high school football coverage.
First half, we featured almost everything here.
We got it. Oh, no. Let's go ahead and go to the action. We'll drop the halftime. Yeah, drop it. We need to get
Second half underway as Farmington receives that kickoff. Almost a fumble on the pooch punt, or pooch kickoff, but taken at the 38-yard line. And so Farmington, after 2 second quarter touchdowns following 2 first quarter interceptions from Brett Dreyer, try to keep Mr. Momentum on their side to start the third. Greg Ellen, Jake Whitener, Mike Reeves, Jason Loughry, and our entire Parkland Sports Live crew on high school football week 1, Friday number 1. To the near side, Dry. He lost it. Another football loose. Dry immediately tried to jump on top of it, but was there a Raider there first? No. It's second down Farmington football. We go to the sideline with Mike Reeves. Michael.
Well, guys, I had a chance to visit with a couple of the officials during the halftime report, and while we were talking, there was a little bit of what Ben Franklin saw a long time ago off to the north and northwest. I asked them, I said, how much trouble are we in? And he said, that's all cloud lightning, we're good. Let's just know it's there, and I just assume go home at a regular time tonight, guys. Let's play fast second half.
Well, the way the first half was played with all these running plays, we should be in for a pretty brisk second half, you would think. This is one of those runs and nothing doing there. North County snuffed that out nicely on the give to Josh McCarthy, and it's going to be third and long quickly here to start the second half for the Knights.
You know, and I don't know if you saw, Greg, that very first play that they went, Brett Dry went to hit the third phase of the triple option, and there was no wingman there for him. He was looking for that pitch key. He saw the pitch key come off the corner. His read was there. There was no pitch man, which is what created that first loss of 2 yards.
So it turned out to be a naked to the outside then, just about, huh?
Yeah, it wound up being naked, and I'm ready to pitch it because I'm going to get popped in the mouth, and there was nothing.
So third and long for Dry and the Knights offense. Play action, stands, now pressured right up the middle, being chased, flushed, has room for the moment, tries to get the corner, and close to the marker, but he's going to be short by 3 yards. Turn that into a nice play on third and long.
It looked like for a second, Coach Krupy, I mean, he was getting his punt team ready to go, but it looked like he was checking the chains to see if there was a chance to maybe go a hard count here, get North County, jump and give them a first down. I mean, they are 4th and 4 short.
They worked once.
At the same point, you know, you back yourself up, bad punt situation, not a chance here. You need to change the field position.
Play clock down to 5. Knights likely would just let this expire, and they will. And that will be a false start, or delay of game, rather. And so now 4th and 9. Scoring recap in the first half. Brady McClure with a 41-yard touchdown run. At 4:41 of the first quarter, point after was good, and the Raiders led 7-0. They led 14-0 after a Noah Lashley 3-yard touchdown run in the next series. That took us right to the end of the first quarter, and it was 14-0 Raiders. Both those touchdowns came after Brett Dry first quarter interceptions, one to Dylan Wisnowski, who caught it. Wisnowski broke up the second one, and the return man for the Raiders was run into. This will be a penalty. This is not going to be Farmington football. And so the Raiders will have it after they march this penalty off. And then the Farmington touchdowns. Jack Embry, the 11-yard touchdown catch from Dry, and then Embry again from 7 yards just before the half. The first one came with 6 minutes to go in the half. The last one came just before intermission. 5 seconds remaining in the half. Both point afters good, and we were tied at 14. That's where we sit to start a third quarter that continues like the first half to be flag-filled.
You know, it's gonna continue to hurt. I mean, we talked about it. These guys are gonna start getting a little wore down. I know you trained to come into this week 1 and be a somewhat peak performance. It's not your mid-season peak performance, but the penalties are just absolutely eating up both teams right now. Farmington on their second penalty in their opening drive.
I thought about that after you made that comment, and I'm just going to talk from maybe the football layperson perspective. Jake, it's week 1. Like, you've had all off season to train, and you're trying to tell me that the attrition of one half of football is already catching up. Like, it's not going to get any better moving forward. This should be the best they're going to be all year.
This should be. Yeah, I mean, you would think so, but then you also got to think, how many new kids do we have starter-wise that aren't mentally prepared for the roles that they're playing? Because you're asking some of these kids, 14, 15 years old, to come onto the field and step up to Friday Night Lights, which does a lot for the anxiety of a young man.
On 42-yard line, and this is another big gainer for the North County Raiders, and a touchdown-saving tackle by Dry to take down Landon Whitfield, who was running wild in the wide open.
Well, I assume the Raider offensive line got a little pep talk from Brian Jones at halftime.
A big pop there on the first play of the third quarter for the North County Raiders, and immediately into scoring territory. First and goal with the football at the 6. They've had a couple of big runs tonight to set up scores. Whitfield there. Aaron Cook with another earlier in the first quarter. And now it's McClure. He'll keep it on the ground. Same guy. Better tuck that football away, young man. Boy, he had that thing out on the wing with his right hand. And Whitfield lucky to go to the ground still with the pigskin.
I think that's the last thing Brian Jones would accept right now. You've coughed it up a few times and you're carrying a loaf of bread into the end zone or trying to get in. Probably be the last time you carry it like that.
Big boys up front trying to do the job for the blue and gold. Thank our crew at K. Buckley Towing, 431-2117. Cornerstone Furniture, St. Joe and Parkway Drive in Park Hills. Nuvo Athletic Custom Apparel by Tia Cunningham. And Serenity Hospice. 2 in the backfield behind McClure. Play action is going to keep it. Scamper, touchdown. Just off right tackle. And Braden McClure able to put the Raiders back in front. So Brady McClure, no matter what name you want to call him by, scores 6.
And if you're Farmington right now, yeah, that's a little wind out of your sail, but you still got a lot of football left to play. And the way we've watched this, Greg, you don't know how this is going to end. You don't know, is it going to be one turnover, one penalty? I mean, because that's what we've had thus far, and we keep hitting on it. There have been mistakes, turnovers. You don't know what's going to happen over the next 20-plus minutes of football still.
21-14, North County back in front. A drive that took 3 plays, 58 yards, and 90 seconds to go from their own 42 to the end zone. And so the Raiders, they like the odd quarters. And a big flash of lightning overhead there. That one certainly will get the attention of the men that matter most.
As soon as you say that, earpieces start getting tapped, checking.
Yep. It's only heat lightning. That one looked like more than heat lightning. Just saying.
It lit up the sky. That was, I think it caught everybody's attention.
MacTech Industry and Technology programs all about getting to work and making things happen. Welding, HVAC, auto tech, construction, and much more. You'll gain the practical skills and real-world experience needed to thrive in today's job market. Take the first step to a fulfilling career in a MacTech program. Apply today, middlearea.edu. High end-over-end kickoff. Farmington takes it at the 5. Trying the left side and tripped up shy of the 20. Good open field tackling by the North County Raiders. And Coy Fripp, after about a 12-yard return. Farmington with 8:31 to go in the third has the football back again, trailing by 7.
I think
a long field here.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think it's a moment you just tell your offense, calm down. You've been here before. You've been behind against this team. You had it last year where, this was a back-and-forth game. A 2-score victory on one side, but at the same point, you know what you've got offensively. Just settle down, play football.
1st and 10. Farmington in the home whites. Going to look deep, right side, near side, over the shoulder catch. Oh, brilliant from Jack Embry, who's been Mr. Do-It-All tonight. That one coming right at you on a pretty pass from Brett Dry. Wow.
Let's go, boys!
It gets no better than that tonight so far for Farmington.
That is not what I thought they were going to run on first down. I did not think that was going to be the play call.
Well, you got to outsmart your opposition, right?
You do. I mean, I think they've had a tendency to run midline or veer first down every time, and I think they lulled me.
Dry barking out signals. RPO. And he keeps himself across the Raider 45 to the 43 after the big hookup with Jack Embry, who's caught 2 touchdowns tonight. After Brett Dry threw a couple of first quarter INTs. It was TDs to Embry twice, and then that brilliant drop it over the shoulder catch just around midfield moments ago.
And that wasn't just your typical over the shoulder. It wasn't over the front. It was over the outside back. I mean, Jack was leaning backwards to catch it. It was a great hookup. I mean, great catch by that young man.
He'll give it inside this time, and maybe the 40 for Kason McLean. 7:20, third quarter remaining. And it's 3rd and 2, call it. Glenwood, Illinois comes here next week for the North County Raiders, while Farmington is at home to welcome in the Bulldogs of St. Clair. We go to Park Hills with the Blue Jays of Jefferson for our coverage. Tight formation here, a lot of movement right at the snap, and Dry should have plenty for the first on the surge. And they'll move the chains twice in this series as Honor comes in.
And you start to wonder, like, how's the chess match? You know, do we have our guys settled enough that we can start making some movement pieces, start maybe some different formations if you're Farmington? Because they made a double shift a while ago. It looked like they caught North County a little bit out of tracks there, being where they were supposed to be. But, I mean, now I think you actually are in the chess match here to finish out this game.
Zonner split wide left, Embry wide right. They keep it on the ground up the middle, and wrapped up, bent backwards when it's all said and done was Connor Rice. We sent it down to our man in the field. Possible injury-related note, not for our man, but he's going to talk injuries. Mike, what do you got?
We talk lack of. I just know to Burke and ask him, broadcaster G, what issues are we seeing? He said 0, none so far on really either side of the field. And he said we've all done a lot of different training methods to try to make that not a factor. Well, tonight so far, it hasn't been. Now when the first player goes down with an issue, I will take full responsibility.
You or David Burke's going to take responsibility. I think we should hang him on that. He's the man. We get a timeout for the moment. I'll ask you this. When Farmington started this drive, you made the comment, I'll tell you guys who've been here, we've been trailing, this is no time to panic. Does the coaching staff take a lot of time trying to get a high school athlete to not panic in a situation early in the second half of a football game? Is that even on the radar screen where kids are panicking at this point?
Well, I think going into your halftime is your biggest adjustment. Speaking in football terms, week 1 to week 2 is your biggest adjustment. Week 1 halftime is where you find out what your team is. That's that relationship building you've had all summer with your kids, and you were trying to motivate them to understand, fellas, this is what we've been preaching. This is what we've been practicing. Just calm down. And I know Coach Krupy, Coach Bird especially. Coach Bird's a huge guy on their staff for the energy, and it's preached. It's preached. Calm down, play the game, fellas.
I don't know why you would take the word of Jonathan Bird, a very inexperienced player in his playing days at Farmington. He didn't accomplish anything. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I say in jest.
He what
an athlete he was.
He changed the absolute complexity. Him and Scott, Scott's boy Zach. Whenever I was coaching here with Jeremy, Jay Bird changed the absolute entire outcome of our first meeting with each other. Jeremy McDowell had a play call, and we thought we had a defense, and Jay Bird one hand out of bounds, and that was it. That's all she wrote.
Football and basketball for Jonathan Bird. What an athlete. It's at 1st and 10 Farmington. Dry, keep, right corner, got a seal, now spins back inside. Another big gainer for the Farmington offense and wrestled down by one of the linemen, Tyler Pipkin. And all of a sudden, Farmington just, you can tell, kind of leaning on the North County linemen a little bit here and picking up good chunk plays.
And this is Farmington to a T. This is what they do. Clock is ticking. They're taking 3 minutes plus off the clock with this drive so far. I mean, they are finally feeling calm and relaxed. And you can tell by the way their offensive line is firing off and their skill guys are pitter-pattering behind them 1-2 steps and then exploding through these nice gaps.
Farmington moving the football here on their second drive after a 3-and-out here in the second half. Dry will take it out of the gun. He's going to give it left side, and all kinds of blue shirts there to take down McCarthy after a minimal gain. Now the first full-on weekend of the high school sports season, week 1 of high school football, all the fall sports getting underway. The Farmington girls tennis team going to the Francis House Central tournament tomorrow. Well, you talk about guys that didn't know anything during their tenure at Farmington. Andrew Cantor is at the top of that list. I mean, come on, what are you learning from that guy?
He'd have to teach me. I know nothing about tennis.
That's okay. Neither does he.
You know, as a former PE guy, I can't admit that too much. But, man, that was not one that I understood.
Hey, for those that are new to The Voice, I've been around a couple of decades. I think I've earned a little bit to give these guys some grief. So nobody freak out. 3:52 to go here, third quarter. Now, Andrew Cantor just recently got married.
There he goes again. A pitch to the running back.
Right side, gain about 5 on that play. No, he's a good guy. Always like talking to Andrew Cantor. You talk about, now we're talking football here, but a guy that's committed to the sport of tennis. I know they're in the throes of the U.S. Open right now in Flushing, New York, but good tennis dude. 21-14 North County, third quarter, which is moving quickly as Mike requested. 3:18 and counting.
I think that's what you expect. I mean, watching this first half of how much these guys were running the ball, I mean, what killed us was just the turnover and penalties that stopped the clock.
Dry, going to throw. Right side overshot, looking for Embry for the third time. I think maybe that Dry thought Embry was going to go out, and Embry instead went in. That's what it looked like, but it's incomplete, and it brings up fourth down. And we might see a field goal try as personnel changes here for Farmington. And Zahner is on the field. This football is at the 10-yard line, so it'll be a 27-yard kick from the right hash. 3 minutes to go in the third to make it a 21-17 game. It's 4th and 6. Play clock not an issue, it's at 10. 27-yard attempt for Ian Zahner.
And it is.
It's good. So the longest scoring drive of the night ends in a 27-yard field goal for Ian Zahner. And it's 21-17. We'll take a quick break, come back with more on Parkland Sports Live.
Affordability and selection. Those are the cornerstones of Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Farmington. You'll see the selection when you drive by their lot at the Fairgrounds exit. You'll notice the affordability when you talk to their experienced salespeople. And you'll love the service when you take your new Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram in for maintenance. New or pre-owned, cars, trucks, SUVs, and anything else in between. Pull into Pettis Chrysler Dodge Ram of Farmington today. 431-7800. PettisAutos.com.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
Ready to roll up your sleeves and dive into a hands-on?
21-17. Maybe not the way you thought we'd get here, but it's tight. It's a one-score game late in the third. If you want to be nitpicky, officially a 28-yard field goal. A little chip kickoff, taken long of the 20, and out to about the 30 is where the Raiders will start on offense. I think one thing that both coaches would love to see is minimal turnovers, minimal penalties the rest of the way. I said an interesting first half. Does it matter for you? I'll ask you from two perspectives. From a coach, how we got here, does all that other stuff matter? That it's, hey, it's tight, but we had a lot of turnovers and penalties. Does that matter from a coach?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, because those are the small things you need to fix to be successful in the second half. Farmington came out first drive, had 2 penalties on that opening punt. But then also, those are the small things you build to get your team more successful that you can rely on getting into this fourth quarter. So, yes, I mean, I would 100% say those small factors that crippled you in the first half, you've got to correct in the second half to be successful.
That was the right answer. The flip side of that equation is North County runs it straight ahead, and a good push as they run this one with Whitfield. Does it matter from a rooting interest fan perspective how we got here? You're looking at a 4-point game late in the third. Does it matter how we got here?
Well, you may have some emotions tied to the oohs, the ahs of, man, you're getting frustrated seeing this, seeing that. Why aren't we doing it? Yeah, from a fan standpoint, but when it's said and done, I mean, you're 14 minutes away from maybe whoever has the ball last wins this football game. Yeah. So you're right now you're in for a nail biter as we get down to 2 minutes, close to 2 minutes in the third quarter. But so it's kind of a double-edged sword on the answer, Greg.
It is.
Yes, it is. But at the same point, no, it's not.
Second down and 4 for the Raider offense. And Brady McClure going to keep this one and spun down. Maybe lost a yard on the play. Chase Buchanan was near the tackle. That brings up third and a long 4. Boy, if the Knights could get the field goal and then an immediate 3-and-out stop. They had all the momentum in the second quarter with a couple of touchdowns. They've never held the lead, though, tonight. They trailed by 14, cut it to 7, tied it, went down by 7, and cut it to 4. McClure, handoff, good pursuit by Farmington, but Whitfield able to break, contain, and get to midfield to move the chains. Well, he looked swarmed under at the outset, and then all of a sudden just kind of popped out on the right side.
They've done a great job. I mean, it's almost like a rugby scrum, or scrum in the middle there, what we're watching here. And out of nowhere, I mean, most of the times that the North County offense has been successful, it doesn't look like there's much of a gap. Then all of a sudden there's an extra 4 or 5 yards from the offensive line pushing them forward.
Farmington has lost Corbin Phillips with the first official cramp of the night. So we'll cue David Burke on that. Pop this to the outside. This is McClure turning the corner, trying to stay in bounds and gain more yardage. And he's well into Farmington territory on another decent-sized run for the Raiders.
There's a lot that goes into that run right there, but probably the best thing possible was this outside receiver, play side receiver, didn't block the dude in the back. And he kept the play alive because he didn't touch him to allow that 14, 15-yard gain, because had he touched him, that thing was coming back.
Well, sophomore Brady McClure has not shown any signs, or at least many visible ones, of the kind of deer in headlight moment at any point during this game. Maybe that early drive when they had it deep at their own 3-yard line, handoff straight ahead. Boy, just churning the legs to try to gain the first down. North County running the football strong with Noah Lashley that time.
And Greg, that's their third consecutive run for first down. They've had 3 first downs in a row, 2 inside, 1 outside, and you're starting to see a few of these Farmington defenders starting to walk off the field as if they're stalling up here.
21 ticks away from the end of quarter 3. Raiders do not have to run another play to get to the end of the quarter, but they will. They'll hand off right side to Whitfield, and not a whole lot doing there. That will take us to the quarter break, but a man down to stop play with 4 seconds, but they would surely just wind that after we scrape Corbin Phillips. The guy that just had the cramp may have re-aggravated. Raiders driving and leading by 4 at 21-17. And that will take us to the 4th. Flip sides one more time for the last set of 12. The Raiders trying to maybe to some pull an upset in week one. They lead Farmington 21-17 on Parkland Sports Live.
Ready to roll up your sleeves and dive into a hands-on career? Mineral Area College is ready for you. Their Mac Tech industry and technology programs are all about getting to work and making things happen. Whether you thrive on fixing, building, or just plain problem solving, they've got a pathway for you. Welding, HVAC, auto tech, construction, and more. You'll gain the practical skills and real-world experience needed to thrive in today's job market. Take the first step to a fulfilling career in a Mac Tech program. Apply today at mineralarea.edu.
Amped Lifestyle Personal Training and Functional Fitness by Michelle Smith takes your fitness to the next level. With 4 personal trainers and locations in Farmington and Park Hills, Amped Lifestyle Personal Training makes fitting in that workout convenient. Ask about bungee fitness, group sessions, athletic training, 55 plus, cardio hip, and yoga sessions with Mary, all taught by certified instructors. Amped Lifestyle Personal Training and Functional Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, 760-9931.
Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling has the equipment and know-how to get that job done right. They dig basements, ponds, lakes, roads, and clearings and haul in the rock. Check out Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling's commercial work at Domino's in Farmington and Fredericktown and Leadbelt Motorsports. Call Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling today at 701-3258. That's 701-3258.
Fourth quarter starts with a second and mid-range. It'll turn into third and about the same. Just underway in the final stands. Our coverage brought to you by K. Buckley Towing, 431-2117. Matt Stroud Excavating and Hauling. Parkland Pet Cremation and Services. Pettis Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Farmington. And Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center. Big third down play for North County. They don't possess the kind of kicker that Farmington does, so that field goal probably doesn't come into range quite yet. They toss in the backfield. This is Whitfield trying to find space, and he's not getting enough to move the chains on the 8th play of the drive. It'll bring up 4th and 3. And so Brian Jones with the football at the 19-yard line.
It'd be an interesting play call here. I mean, try to get inside the head of Brian Jones, which I'm not sure you want to go there because there's a lot of things probably. I mean, he's a man of many numbers and stats, but you know, in this they haven't won a hard count yet. So you know, Farmington's getting used to their cadence here.
They go for it. Whitfield trying to break a tackle. The backfield does. Does the lean give him enough for the first? I think it did. And that was Whitfield breaking a jersey grasp tackle in the backfield to stay upright and get enough to move the sticks. Boy, what a play.
He looked dead to rights in the backfield. I mean, he looked like he had no yardage at all. He made one quick juke, that left foot in the ground. He got just enough, maybe an extra yard to get him, was it first and goal, Greg, from the 9?
6'1" senior puts it at the 9. Raiders split Jackson Shearfus out to the right. McClure, keeper, nothing. Brady McClure. It's not spelled Brady like Quinn or Tom Brady. B-R-A-Y-D-E-E. Brady McClure. I'm watching on the Farmington side, Corbin Phillips. He's just outside of your camera shot, number 7 in white, helmet off. He's kind of limping around, trying to work out that cramp in the leg. Walking a little better now on what is second down, and he's hoping his defense can stand tall. They stack up Whitfield. He's inside the 10, down to the 8. And this will be North County's 12th play of this drive after Farmington's previous series lasted 11.
I think you start to wonder what your fourth down looks like here if you don't get in, you know, depending on yardage. what do you want to do here? Obviously, you need to put points on the board because it's still a 1 point or a 1 possession game, down 4 if you're Farmington. But if you are in Brian's shoes, I mean, you are absolutely, number one, trying to score, but number two, if you don't get in, ball security to make sure you pin them deep.
McClure takes it, keeps it, rolls, dodges one man. Now going to tuck and run inside the 5. As a Farmington man down behind the play. And popping up then is Caleb Leask. And he appears to be all right. So it is the ever-present 4th down now. And they got to get to the end zone, 4th and goal. And North County is going to bring on the field goal unit. So it appears from the 5-yard line, a 23-yard attempt. Kelton McFerrin, the holder, Cole Mullins, the kicker. It's away. It's got the leg by a ton, and it's good. Boy, no question about that one. From Mullins, who reestablishes a 7-point lead. Boy, that was boomed through the uprights.
There was no doubt on that. It looked like it was going to hit that Jumbotron from our view. Obviously, the depth perception's way off, but...
Boy, what a kick.
I mean, what a drive, though. I mean, the field goal comes on 13th play of the drive.
And what an answer as far as the drive is concerned to what the Knights just put together.
So 20, and you go back and you talk about wasting time off the clock. There was a time here a few years ago that Farmington's in a position against a very potent Festus team at 24 minutes on the first half clock. They wound up using 19 of those minutes. So it's not against Farmington to waste out 8 minutes here and try to put in a game tying or a game winning with a 2-point conversion if they go that route, you know, to waste a full 8 minutes off. If they can waste this clock, they are very good at that 4-minute offense. And when you're running triple option or any type of option, 4 minutes can turn into an entire quarter if you're able to possess the ball.
13-play, 68-yard drive, took 6 minutes and 24 seconds off the clock. A line drive kick that's going to be scooped off the pellets by Farmington at a big-time return. This is Bryson Logan. He's over midfield and running a bounce around the 40. Bryson Logan.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that kid's speed going to the track. He's a 300 hurdler and open 110s in the hurdles. You know the kid's got speed. They know him from the track. So really surprised. I mean, if you didn't see the pickup, he fielded that like a shortstop and he was gone.
Well, I was thinking on the pickup, he's lucky his knee wasn't
correct. It was a clean scoop off the field, man. He turned those Jets on.
And he didn't get touched, honestly, Jake, for about 30 yards. I mean, he got through the initial wave unmolested.
It's good that he didn't get touched because as fast as he was going running straight up and down, it would have hurt.
There he goes back to pass.
Here's a pass over the middle. He's got a man looking for Zonner. Broken up. Great defense by Wisnowski, who's gotten a pick tonight. Jarred another one loose and was one-on-one with Zonner on an island. And Zonner is slow to get up. Boy, that was another great throw by Dry, though. I tell you what, since the first quarter, Brett Dry has been really on point.
You bet. He settled down. I mean, the last 2 balls he's thrown have been absolutely amazing. You know, the one thing, though, we go back to early in the game, he barely underthrows Embry for a touchdown. And then that one was kind of the same, but defense did a great job. I mean, he was beat. He slowed down just enough, Ian Zonner, to try to catch that. The hand came up to knock it out. But here's something to think about, Greg. We're talking about a game that if Farmington can march this ball, get it down, they score, your kicker, your main dude is down with cramps right now. The dude who's got to kick the extra point if Farmington scores, he's the dude you got to rely on, hopefully, to put your extra point through.
He's being worked on and now helped up right now. Brett Dry last year, 53.5 completion percentage, 68 of 127 for 701 yards. Only 3 touchdowns last year through the air, 11 on the ground. but just 2 interceptions. He was a little off kilter to start tonight. 2 first-quarter INTs, but he has had some beautiful deep balls since then.
You know, that's something that, you know, we go back to talking about Coach Bird. That's something that him and Coach Hartrip have done a great job this summer, is working on Brett's arm, his accuracy. Unfortunately, he missed part of the season last year due to injury, and that's his stats.
Ball ripped out. It's loose. It's on the field. It's still being kicked around, and the Raiders are on it. Ripped out of the hands of Kason McLean. And the Raiders, after the field goal to put them up 7, get the ball back on another turnover, and now we're seemingly losing guys on every play due to cramps.
You know, and that's obviously not the blow you want. The only positive on this, yes, you have a turnover, but take away this. There's still 8 minutes on the clock. Get your defense amped up, ready to go, make a stand here. Don't waste too much of the clock off. You got a little time to give, but you get whatever you got to do. You got to rip this ball out.
And you're only down by 1 score.
Yeah.
It's not like
there's plenty of time here. But the one thing you got to do is make sure you don't give up another score, because then you start getting into that haste time of we're going to have to push. We're going to have to push the pace here, which is something with this offense sometimes can bite you in the rear.
We've got time. We'll tell you our coverage courtesy of Nouveau Athletic Custom Apparel by Tia Cunningham. Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center. Also, Triple Creek Realty, simple, honest, reliable real estate. Black Knight Automotive in Farmington. Parkland Pet Cremation and Services. Amped Lifestyle Personal Training with Michelle Smith. And Middle Area College and Mac Tech. Apply today at middlearea.edu. Farmington still with a man down. We get flashes of heat lightning that continue throughout the vicinity. They're not ultra constant, but they're enough, and now they've been a little brighter to at least make me think that we might not get through this game without a delay, and boy, that would change things dramatically. You start getting lightning delays, and those are hard to play through.
Well, it's hard to come out with constant play. You know, you come out of the locker room, you're rested, and in a night like tonight, you cramp up. So by the time you come back, you may not be at the performance you were, because you've already got your muscles relaxed, you're already sweating. You go into a locker room, if it's AC'd, a lot of times coaches in this situation, I know they've got to vacate the field if it's lightning. But at the same point, you're trying to keep them from the AC standing outside.
Senior, 5'10", 240, Scott Fripp is the man being helped off. 8:01 remaining in the fourth, and now the Raiders going to play a little clock game here and try to bleed some of this time off with a 7-point cushion, 24-17. We were 14 all at the break. Raiders went ahead with 8:38 to go in the third. And then we've had back-to-back field goals to reestablish the 7-point spread. Raiders on 1st and 10. Toss in the backfield. This is going to be Whitfield to the left side and into the Raider bench. This drive originated at their own 28.
You know, and if you're Farmington, you guys, I mean, like we've said, we've got plenty of time here, but if they're moving the ball, they run a toss sweep like that, don't keep them in bounds. Push them out, save, 20, 30 seconds off the clock, because you may need those on the back end of this ball game.
28th meeting between these two programs since the start of the 2000 season. Farmington owns the edge 17-10. Raiders just surge ahead on 2nd and short to pick up the first down. Farmington had a stretch just running up to the 2020 season where they had won 7 in a row in the series. They rattled off another 7 in a row from 2005 to 2011. New set of downs right near the 40. Straight ahead give. Across the 45. Whitfield.
And if you noticed on that, Whitfield had both hands on that. There was no look for bread this time. He was tuck it, and I'm not letting go of it.
Clock will climb to under 7 minutes before this next snap. Play clock still at 25 on it. So McClure and the Raider offense with the clock, the lead. They've got decent field possession and position. They split Jackson Shearfus out deep, give it again to Whitfield, wraps it up straight ahead, cross midfield, and might be a yard short. It's going to be close, and that official's walking right out to the pile, right on the first down line. I mean, that is the line that we are sitting on, or at least I'm sitting on. And after they unpile everybody, I'm still amazed in this day and age of all this high-tech stuff, and even when you sit here and look at what we're broadcasting with, they still rely on the chain gang in football. I just saw the NFL is going to continue that again this year. They were talking about doing some computerized laser thing. I'm like, that only sounds right. Like, shouldn't that be how we measure first downs in football now? Are we really relying on chain lengths?
I don't know. I guess I'm pretty old school. I like the chain gang. I mean, I know, I get it.
Well, I'm not trying to take anybody out of a job. I'm just saying it seems like we should have advanced beyond that. They do get enough for the first down. We near 6 minutes. Well, you keep taking 3 plays to get a first down. You can take 6 minutes off a clock in a hurry when they're all on the ground. This one's going to pick up 2. And so the Farmington defense is going to have to stand tall here and find a way to get the football back to the offensive side. Either a turnover, or if not on this set of downs, the next one to kind of shut this offense down.
And that was right as I looked up from my paper, I was just getting ready to make a comment that at some point here, you know, you're going to have to start playing the timeout game. Obviously, this timeout's for the water break halfway through the fourth. But if you're Coach Krupy, you know, if they keep possessing this ball, at some point you start getting down to about that 4-minute clock. You got to start playing the timeout game.
Yep.
You know, if they continue to march, and you got to be very smart, you know, trusting your defense to get that stop, or you're going to waste them and then be out of them. So now you're battling a lot of elements here. You're not just facing North County. You got the clock at hand, timeout game. You know, right now you're preaching. You're getting ready to run a 4-minute offense. If you're Brian Jones, to waste as much clock as you can, get down in bounds. If you get that toss, do not find the sideline. Fall short.
It's been a great atmosphere for week number 1. A lot of anticipation for the start of the new high school sports season. I'll tell you this, and we sit on the side, so we're right next to it, but the Farmington student section has been much more vocal than your typical high school football student section, at least in this area, has been over the last 2 decades. They've been really good tonight.
It's starting to bring back the old, like, it has. This used to be where the North County fans would chant you. They would come over on your sideline and be on your side right behind you in your student section, and man, it got rowdy, and they let you know about it. So it's kind of nice to see the youthfulness of these guys cheering on their squad.
Well, I feel like half the time the cheerleaders right here are doing their best, and they're not getting much response from either the crowd or at least the students. These folks are into it. I'll give them that.
You bet. That school atmosphere.
And I'm looking on the far side, and the Raider student section is clapping and is doing stuff too. They're certainly not as vocal for us. We're feet away from the Farmington side, and they're gathering.
Well, and it was back in the day, the Matt Haug era. I mean, there were some chants that came out of the stands, and it kind of riled you up a little bit hearing what they were saying. Kind of fed into that black and gold versus blue and gold, and there's nothing better than a good fan section.
And then you get stories like that. And I remember the story a couple years ago, and this is what you want high school sports to be about. The North County Raiders played a mid-season, week 4, week 5. I thought it was week 4 game. Here's a Whitfield run down near the 40. That's close to another first, but it'll bring up 3rd and short. I'll keep this short. Agape came in here to play a game all the way across the state of Missouri.
Yeah.
It's a boarding school unit, right? They just started football, brought hardly any fans.
Yeah.
The North County student section came over here to this side and cheered against the Raiders just to give the Agape team some sort of vocal voice in the game that, to play for something and to hear something to cheer him on. I thought that was really, really special.
Well, and that probably has a lot to do with the man at the helm.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Because, like I said, I spent a few years with that man, and there's not many men that expect the character like he does.
McClure dumped right near the sideline. That wasn't quite a body slam. Otherwise, we may have seen yellow fly, but it was borderline. But it is a Raider first down. It's 1st and 10 outside the 30, and we're under 5 minutes. So the chains move again, and the Farmington offense waiting their turn on the sideline.
I mean, this is your stand as a defense. You got to make it here. You can't let them in any closer, especially after seeing the leg. I mean, they could put 3 more up here if you allow another first down.
Yeah, Cole Mullins banged that last one through no problem. Big series here for the Farmington defense. Try to hang out of the ball carrier. Right at the point of attack. Good tackle by Isaac Owens. Kind of hanging on to a shirt tail there. And a gain of 1. Xavier Shearfus is out with cramps for the moment. Now they're coming fast and furious on both sides. And you mentioned Zonner going out. Well, the Knights hope that does not prove to be a huge loss, depending on how things go over the next 3:58. He's your kicker. You're down 7. You know the drill.
Looks like he's still here getting stretched out by a teammate, maybe pulling the toes up. You got to get yourself ready. I mean, it's coming here, and after this play, you may get a timeout.
I think he's just subscribed Porter Herman into tying his shoe for him.
Well, I don't know what happened there. I mean, that was a chaos. I think both teams thought somebody was either neutral zone or jumped. They went ahead and handed the ball off, and nobody, I mean, they just stood there and looked in the backfield.
So another timeout by Farmington. So they are buying into this being the defensive stand sequence. They at least have them 3rd and long instead of 3rd and 1 or 2, which is what the last couple of third downs have been. This one's around 6. And the football just inside the Knights 30. So you've got all 3s on the clock in the 4th quarter. And if you can get the football back here, and certainly the Raiders would go for it on 4th down. I guess they could elect to kick a field goal, but they're certainly not going to punt. So you get it from around here. You've got plenty of time to do what you need to do down 1 score to go 70 yards with 1 timeout.
You just got to have your 2-minute offense ready here. I mean, even though you may get it back at the 3-minute, you got to play 2 minutes to make sure, especially running the ball as much as they do. You got to make sure your O-lineman's back up. You got to be in and out. You should not be huddling at this point, but if you do, you got to be out of it. You're going to have to go to the play script of the wristers and just let Brett Dry call it from the sideline.
And I say 1 timeout. That was actually the first one Farmington used in this half. They're left with 2. So here comes a rather mammoth 3rd down play as far as the final complexion of this game. 3rd and 6. Raider football at the Knight 29. Knights defense trying to hold tough. McClure at a toss. Whitfield breaks 1, not going to get anywhere close to a first down. And Coach Krupy quickly out for another, his 2nd timeout. After the 10th play of this drive, takes the football to the 25. So now 4th and a short 4.
I mean, I would assume if you're Coach Jones, you are, number 1, try drawing them off sides. Because if you jump off sides, I mean, you still have 4th down to play with. Right. You don't lose anything. Number 2, your quarterback has not thrown a route tonight. It's something to look at right now as one of the safeties is coming off the field, and Connor Rice, who's the backup coming in. That's what you got to pay attention to right now. If you're Brian Jones and you see an injured player coming off, you see fresh meat coming on the field, relatively speaking, not trying to be rude on that, but if you see somebody who hasn't been in the game yet step in, they don't have game tempo, they don't have game atmosphere yet. There could be a chance right there to take a pop at whoever's coming in to replace Connor Rice.
Would you risk play action for a guy who has thrown minimal passes tonight in a situation
not necessarily.
like this?
It just depends on what they can get here. If they see something they like, though, I mean, because you've lulled the corners, I mean, Bryson Logan's done a great job. They've ran him off every time. He's been in the hip pocket because he's fast enough. You got the Hudson boy over here outside, Hudson Buchanan. He stayed with him. But you also haven't covered up your tight end at all.
Sherpas tightens up. Play action to throw. Rolling. Little pass over the middle. Broken up incomplete. I see no yellow on 4th down with 3:20 to go, and the Knights will get one drive.
I don't think it's a bad play call. I mean, because the tight end, literally, they have not touched the tight end. He's been a down blocker all night. I assume the play action looked like it was going to be a wide drag across to him. Just too much pressure on the play side he rolled to.
So from their own 26 officially, Farmington, length of the field, they need 7.
And conservative with timeout. You have 1 left here. Be smart with what you're doing.
Hillsborough hosting the Rams of MICDS tonight. Festus entertaining Rolla, St. Jen's at St. Vincent, Central's at Owensville. We visit Park Hills next week with Jefferson coming in, Crystal City at Sykeston, Windsor at Herculaneum. Dry out of the gun. You'd expect a lot of passing plays. Wobbly ball to the right side, underthrown, but that works out for Farmington. They're going to have it right at midfield. That was not the best ball Brett Dry threw, but it was the right ball at the right time. It hung up for Embry. Kind of that back shoulder, all the rage play, and it worked out perfectly, maybe by accident.
And you got time here. I mean, you're sitting at 3 minutes. Don't up the tempo here. Get set. Be fruitful with what you're doing.
And I think teams sometimes over panic in this situation. You've got 3 minutes and another first down here. I mean, you don't want to score too quick either.
No, you do not.
That one caught by Bryson Logan.
And you just said it perfectly. Don't score this too quick. You have to score. You haven't had a great tempo. You have to score. But at the same point, you leave too much time. We just saw the first pass of the night from North County. Not a great play action, but they've also proven they can go the distance on one run.
2:47 to go. We've talked about it all night. It was humid. Weather wasn't an issue. Flag wasn't moving. Flag is now moving, and the temperatures are dropping. We've seen a lot of heat lightning somewhat in the area. It just doesn't have a good weather feel right now. With 2:47, you're thinking, let's just get out of here before anything happens.
And our sky lights up behind this push. And it's something to keep in mind. I mean, Ian Zahner's a good field goal kicker, but he's got this wind, this push, whatever's coming through is going to be right in his face if they score this ball.
Good point. They'll be kicking into the wind. It's not shades of Farmington in the 2011 state semifinal home game with MICDS when the Knights had a backwards punt because of the wind. That was called extreme. This is not.
Hill Memorial, it's known for some gusts.
That was crazy. Dry out of the gun on first down. In the flat again, and then submarined is Bryson Logan after the catch. That'll bring up second down. Clock moves.
But what a tempo here. You know, Brett slinging the ball left and right. It's going to open up the middle of this field for Casey McLean maybe to take off.
2:27 and counting. Dry, stands, fires, high arcing lob ball right side. Incomplete. Embry had it and dropped it. Numeric counterpart on coverage, Kelton McFerrin. A lot of hand fighting going on that they let go.
Yeah, it's really a surprise that there's only been that one pass interference down on the goal line. There's been a few times that there's been a few shirt tails tucked and pulled, and they're letting the boys play, to say the least, but hopefully the game isn't determined on the second pass interference of the game.
Third down, short 5. Ball at the Raider 32, Brett Dry. Looks left, throws over the middle, incomplete. He wanted Josh McCarthy, and Landon Carroll broke it up.
Well, your decisions, 4th and 5.
Ball game on the line with 2.25 minutes to go on 4th and a short 5. Play clock not an issue. 3 wide in the formation and timeout. And it's going to be called by, I thought, North County. Yes. They wanted to see the formation. and it's Brian Jones that stops things.
You know, something they haven't done, Farmington's pretty notorious in this offense to do this, is to send a guy in motion to look like it's going to be their triple option. And when he gets to the peak of that back, to go ahead and do their fake snap or their freeze to draw them off sides. That's something they haven't done in this game. It's been pretty good for them over the last few years to have a guy in motion and fake that snap. So we'll see. I mean, if it's me, I'm at least trying this here. You gotta get a first down here. You gotta move the ball. You don't need all of this in one shot here. You just need the 5 yards to get the first down.
Under the threat of weather moving in. 2:15 to go in the fourth. Raiders hold. They can run out the clock. Knights get a first down. They can still continue the march for a game-time score. Dry's going to roll right. Stan, he's got a man in the flat. Pressured! Not down yet! Stays upright, comes back the other way. Gets the block in the corner. Dry's got a first down. Out of bounds to the 15 and a flag to go with it, but the Raiders are the ones that are clapping. Boy, did Brett Dry escape massive trouble in the backfield.
You know, Greg, the one thing on this penalty, it depends on what the foul is because he was past the first down marker, so it depends on whether it's going to mark it back and replay fourth down or not. I would assume they're going to get a block in the back or a hold, which probably will negate and make it a fourth and short here.
2:03 in the fourth remaining. Knights are down 7. 24-17 in a, I would say, back and forth game, but the Knights have never led. It was 28-14 last year in this game at Hale Memorial. Knights won that one. Prior to that, the Raiders had won 3 in a row, including one of just the 2 district games between these two since 1999. This is going to push this thing all the way back, long of the 30, right at the 30.
That great run, and he gained 6 inches.
So 4th and 3, a short 3. Well, now you could run the football if you wanted on 4th and 3, but they spread 3 wide. Man behind the formation, Dry gives McLean, hit, no, Dry kept it the whole time. He stood up, he got back to the 30, and I don't think he got the yardage required. He did not, and the Raiders have held. Boy, what a fake on the handoff, but Dry just could not squirt free to get the first.
Hey, Greg, we don't have the best view. That was really close.
And the North County Raiders with Farmington and a timeout left, 1 singular, with 1:53 to go, can put it in the freezer. I'll say this, and I've said this for 23 years of calling high school sports. I don't care what sport it is. I loved when my first game of the year for my team, whatever that team is close and competitive.
Oh, you bet.
You can't replicate a lot of this kind of stuff throughout the course of the year. 1, the intensity. 2, the crowd. 3, the atmosphere. And then on top of it, you get a competitive game all the way down to the wire with so many plays you can go back to as a coach. I know Farmington's going to lose the game, and they came in here wanting to win. North County's going to win the game. They're going to go to 1-0. But both teams can gain a lot from a game like this just because of the way it was played.
You bet.
And it's early.
Yeah,
and it's game 1.
I would say that's the key aspect there is anyone who knows anything about high school football, week 1 to week 2, you show your most growth. You find out who you are week 1. You know, and as you're saying, you come in, you play a very physical, aggressive game. You find out what you're going to be made of for the rest of your schedule. You come in and you have a turbo clock week 1.
Yeah.
You don't know. Yep. And then week 2, you may get hit in the mouth by a team you shouldn't have because you're overly confident.
Yeah, you want a best-of-5 volleyball game down to the wire. You want a 9-8 softball game. You don't want turbo clock in a football game that, yeah, okay, you win 46-0. Sure, you win, but does that really help you down the road? This helps both teams.
You bet. I mean, both teams have shown the tenacity to overcome tonight, the perseverance. I mean, this builds your team. A win and loss record, matters going into district play later down the road.
Sure.
Week 1, it doesn't mean anything. You find out what you're made of.
Well, there's that last timeout for Farmington. Raiders will hand it off. Whitfield leans across 35. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. A 40-second play clock with a minute and a half to go on the game clock. And this is 3rd down.
This
3rd and 3.
Yeah, that long yardage here, if they get it, I mean, they just take a knee. There's no way to stop the clock. They get it to 4th down. It's going to be close on Farmington getting any time for a punt, which, I would assume, depending on how much time's left, you may just run it out, try to run a sweep and stay in bounds.
Sure.
Leave no time left.
Or just run backwards and throw it out of your own end zone.
You bet.
3rd and 3. McClure, he's going to end all discussion. He's going to get near the 40, and the North County Raiders are going to win their season opener. Before this is actually official, I got to say this. I think the officials have done a great job with the weather to keep this thing rolling as much as we can and not get into a lightning delay situation, because we'd have been here all night. You know that.
Well, I mean, the way it's coming through right now, if it's heat lightning, it's hit lightning, but it's about every 12 seconds you're seeing something somewhere.
And that wind picking up probably was not really a good thing as far as what's impending, and I've gotten 2 messages with people shooting me pictures of radar. We know what's coming. And to get out of here with a completed game with no stoppages, I think is fantastic.
Now it's just whether you make it to the parking lot.
Get out of here. We're going to get out of here. We'll record everything somewhere else.
And a timeout by the Raiders with 18 seconds left. So 24-17 in week 1. Farmington will fall to 0-1. Headed home for St. Clair next week. The Raiders will open 1-0. Glenwood, Illinois comes here next week. We're at Park Hills next week with Jefferson. We will get the post-game interviews off air. Our crew at Parkland Sports Live will post those for you. And we will play Beat the Weather to get to our vehicles.
Very quickly, judging by that radar screen.
Final knee. And how about the win for the sophomore quarterback, Brady McClure?
I think probably Coach Jones got quite a few answers tonight, but at the same point, how much can you allow this young man to get beat up in the run game as you press into this season that you have ahead of you and the schedule that you're going to have? There's obviously confidence to build on here, but at the same point, you're going to have to push that envelope for him to send it downfield.
A heck of a performance by McClure of the North County Raiders. Cornerstone Furniture, St. Joe and Parkway Drive in Park Hills, the Sand Trap Indoor Golf Club and Restaurant, Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center, and Serenity Hospice all bring you coverage of Week 1 tonight from Raider Field. 24-17 your final. We go to Park Hills Central next Friday with Jefferson coming to town. Again, we'll get those post-game interviews with Brian Jones and Eric Krupy off air. And we'll post them courtesy of Parkland's Sports Live. Jake, this was a lot of fun. I know we'll do this kind of hit and miss as the season goes along. You get Brandon Geiler next Friday. As long as you're in for double duty in week 3, we'll sit alongside again for that.
You bet. I enjoy it.
I hope they're as good as this one. This one's fun.
Hey,
the coaches don't like the turnovers and the penalties, but we're just fans.
Let's clean that part up. But besides that, it's enjoyable. The best seat in the house is one with the headset on.
So North County gets out of here with a win in week 1. They will celebrate to open up the new high school sports season. A 24-17 win over the crosstown rival, and it was led from quarterback, the sophomore, Brady McClure, as the Raiders pick up the win. This has been coverage of week 1 of high school football. Greg Allen, Jake Whitener, Mike Reeves, Jason Lowry saying so long from Raider Field as North County wins it 24-17. Have a good night, everybody.
Start. Call Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing, 431-2117. K. Buckley Towing can handle lockouts, jump starts, and their heavy-duty wreckers can pull nearly any size RV tractor trailer. With 24-hour roadside assistance, Kyle Bonney at K. Buckley Towing will be there when you need it most. Save this number into your phone right now, 573-431-2117.
Triple Creek Realty is simple, honest, reliable real estate. Our agents have over 60 years of experience. They offer unbeatable attention to detail and commitment to finding your dream home, farm, or business. Check out details about this listing online. Triple Creek Realty, Farmington-based and locally owned.
Looking for top quality custom sportswear and activewear? Look no further than Nouveau Athletic. Nouveau Athletic blends innovative design with affordability, revolutionizing activewear for athletes, teams, and enthusiasts alike. From affordable, high-quality team practice wear to specialty sublimated activewear, Nouveau Athletic has grown to become a leader in sportswear and the industry, especially in cheer. Nouveau Athletic, where passion meets quality in every stitch.
For Nouveau Athletic custom apparel locally, contact Tia Cunningham at 573-701-6015. A pet is more than just a pet. They're a family member. Together you build and grow important memories that last a lifetime. Parkland Pet Cremation Service understands how important it is to respect the bond you shared and honor those precious memories. That's why they offer pet-exclusive services, a comforting and welcoming environment, cremation safeguards, professional and compassionate staff, and a wide variety of keepsakes and memorial items. Parkland Pet Cremation Service invites you to take a tour. Call us for free information or visit our facility at any time. Parkland Pet Cremation Service on 8 Highway between Park Hills and Leadwood.
Black Knight Automotive is hometown proud on Weber Road in Farmington, right across from Sonic, a small town business trying to make a big difference in how you feel about your automotive service. AC work, tires, brakes, even motor and transmission installs. Stop by or call to experience the difference. Black Knight Automotive, 573-664-1213.
Black Knight Automotive proudly sponsors high school sports.
Here's what people are saying about Cornerstone Furniture in Park Hills.
The best staff, knowledgeable and personable. The entire purchasing process was super easy from start to finish. Even the warehouse guy was professional and was able to magically fit an entire bed and 2 mattresses into my vehicle.
Cornerstone Furniture at the corner of St. Joe Drive and Parkway Drive in Park Hills.
Hi, this is Trent Quialva, owner of Cornerstone Furniture and Mattress.
Your local shelter insurance agent.
Hi, this is Michelle Day, Marketing Director with Serenity, limiting illness and trying to navigate the confusing world of healthcare. Let our